Now then, where was I? The children that were scattered about the floor of the common room looked attentively at the old man, waiting for a tale of faraway lands and heroic exploits. Waterdeep. You were at Waterdeep. I suppose we were at the beginning then. The Underdark, the Grove, the sea, the palace, they all converged right there.
Harold, have you ever seen so many different kinds of people in such a big place? How hard could it be to find somebody that knows where Tailwind is?
You're a miracle, boy.
I shake my head and quietly to myself say, there's no such thing as miracles.
I'll tell you what. I'll give you a running start. I'll count to 30. 1, 2.
30, and then I'm gonna run at him and attack him.
Fair's fair. You told me your history. I was born on that boat. Huh? That ship that your friend is dissecting.
I absolutely hate how chipper you always are.
And it'd be a good look on you, though.
If it's a riddle, I want to solve it. If it's a lock, I want to open it.
How do I make this quick? I'm a holy woman, and I'm looking for things that were taken from me and my people.
They could not begin to fathom the situation that they found themselves in.
Hello, it's me again. I just wanted to apologize because this was, again, one of the first episodes that we recorded, and while I was trying to figure out my editing style, I made the music super loud, and I have recently learned to not do that anymore. Also, I'm sorry if you've been hearing Facebook pings. I was getting used to not having my Facebook open while I was recording the desktop audio that I needed to, like, record the Zoom calls. Anyway, all the story is here. I just don't have the raw audio from this session, so I can't go back and re-edit it. That's all. I hope you enjoy. Goodbye!
The fire in the hearth of the tavern in the small farming village burned brightly. It was a simple tavern, full of simple, quiet people. It was a village that labored proudly, growing wheat and sheep. Adventure and excitement were not something that was native to this place. No, those commodities were imported by the likes of the old bard that sat next to the fire in the indisputable best chair in the common room. It was not yet mid-morning, but a small crowd had gathered around to hear the tale that the withered old minstrel was telling. In the front, wide-eyed children sat scattered attentively, waiting for the old man to continue his story. Now, where was I? Oh yes, Waterdeep. In the beginning. It's a very big place, you see, bigger than you could imagine. It stretches out next to the Sea of Swords and teems with more political intrigue, hidden danger, and mystery than Baldur's Gate and Neverwinter combined. But it also has a surprising amount of compassion and hope. It was built, the legends say, on the ruins of an elven glade, and it grew there, from the barbarian tribes into perhaps the greatest city in all of Faerû, or perhaps even Toril. The Underdark, the Grove, the sea, the palace, and the gutter, they all converged right there in that place at that time. Somewhere else, much darker, a figure stands in a cavern. Dark purple moss grown across the side of it. Echoes of screams ring in the darkness. The sound of steel clashing against steel, rock tumbling inward, an explosion somewhere in the distance. Hawk, describe yourself, please.
Hawk
is a tall, lanky, white-haired, and pale-faced man in his early 20s. He's wearing dark clothes and plate armor and has a runed sword lashed to his back.
Hawk stands against the darkness, figures moving in the shadows around him, that purple glow from the lights. Edges closer and closer. The shadows sputter, and then there's a spark of bright light. Warmth fills the space, and the smell of fresh grown grass and autumn leaves fill the air. The wind rustles, and we are now looking upon a stone circle, pillars rising around the circumference of a grove. Each of the stones glows with a soft green sigil, and within it, a cleric of Sylvanus pays her dedications to the god. Juniper, please describe yourself.
Juniper has deep ebony skin, bright golden eyes, short black hair with tinsels of silver running throughout it. She is dressed in whites and golds.
Elsewhere, the aged and rum-soaked wood of a passenger ship, a galleon, rocks gently on the sea. In a cabin within this ship, a man works furiously, tinkering with brass tools, gears spread out on a desk, working furiously with blueprints and scrolls, tomes opened up before him. An oil lamp burns dangerously low, and a small construct sits before him. MacLeod, please describe yourself.
MacLeod is of average height. He's wearing what looks like old World War II medic gear. It's like a green shirt and normal linen trousers. He has a little sling bag around him. He has a small yellow bandana and a messy hair, small circle glasses. His eyes are, one is blue and one is green. He has kind of a soot-ridden face. His left arm is almost entirely covered in scars and burns. He has an old World War II rifle and like a small revolver, kind of clockwork revolver pistol.
The sea rocks back and forth, and the gears spread out on the desk shift and roll. One gear lands on an open book. There is a map of an island and a single word, Teowin. In a quiet place, surrounded by crystalline structures of a beautiful palace that has been constructed meticulously by the ancient and unwavering hand of the elves. Older than time itself, this place stands frozen, unchanging, suffused with the magic that had been placed within Evermeet. A palace, a balcony. A young elf on that balcony, looking outward at a sun that is setting in the far, far horizon. Doddle, please describe yourself.
Dodalia is a young girl with long black hair, very long ears, little white freckles, and very pale skin. She looks very frail and delicate, like she hasn't been outside in quite a long time. But she's smiling.
As she looks outward, the horizon changes. And we reappear in the darkness of an alleyway in the city of Waterdeep. Rain splashes across the dirty ground, and the shouts of shopkeepers and the bustling life of that place swell like a cacophony. A figure runs out of the darkness, leaping over a pile of discarded crates, escaping from some unseen enemy, some foe following close behind. Arrows pierce through the night, striking into the building off to their left as they run, their cloak flipping in the breeze. Saray, please describe yourself.
Tall, pretty athletically built, feminine figure. She's wearing dark blues and dark gray, kind of robes almost, but not like long wizard robes. She has like a shorter robe and a kidney belt to tie it together, and tighter, more athletic cotton pants and boots. And she has her hood up to make her a little more inconspicuous, as well as protect her from the rain. And the hood has like it's not fancy or ornate, it just has slight embroidery and prints into it. And you see coming out of her hood, you see a dark braid of hair that's quite long, almost like over a yard long.
As Saray lands, the arrows shoot next to her. Make an acrobatics check, please.
Fail me now, dice. Whee! 15 plus 6, 21.
You nimbly leap forward, rolling out of the way. You're now covered in a slough of mud as the rain kind of pours down around you. And dripping into the puddle that you've just rolled into, red. Blood from your wounds. You had leapt off of that building and then fallen through the roof. You'd escaped the prison and managed to create a distraction that allowed the rest of the party to escape, but currently, the figures that had found you are pursuing. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna keep running.
Are you doing so openly? Are you running through the alleyway, or would you like to try to do something else?
No, I'm gonna run through openly. I'm just gonna try and run as fast as I possibly can out of there.
Then make an athletics check, please.
Ooh, that was a nat one.
Saray, as you charge forward, you slip in the mud, and you see that your pursuers are getting closer and closer to you. Behind you now, you see a torchlight burning, and 3 figures. They're not officials. They're not the city watch. They're not wearing any sort of unified armor. It's a hodgepodge of older leather and bits of steel. A bucket helm is on one of them, a horned helm on the other. One of them holds a bow and is quickly grabbing fletched arrows and shooting them at you as you attempt to escape. The other 2, one of which is holding the torch, are shouting at you. You can't escape! Give yourself up! We promise! You won't come to no harm!
I'm gonna stand back up, and probably since I'm in such a hurry and I'm wounded, I'm gonna slip in the mud a little bit as I get back up and continue to run in another direction.
Okay, so you turn and you run another direction. Go ahead and give me an acrobatics check.
9 plus 6, so 15.
All right, you begin running, and the 3 figures immediately begin pursuing. Meanwhile, somewhere else across town, the mercantile center, known as the Court of Stars, has recently been covered in rain. The merchants are still active, but most of them have taken shelter underneath the tents and colorful banners that they've placed out before their shops. The wind, which is kicked up, is blowing a number of the signs and wares that have been placed out before them. I need everyone else to roll initiative.
It's a 5.
12.
21!
Ooh.
Yes!
9.
All right. So Let me make sure that that's entered here in Roll20. We've got a tracker, which is very helpful.
Would you like me to type it in?
Yeah, if you don't mind. That would be
problem.
super helpful. Okay, 21 is going to be the first. All right, so Doddle, you are with your companions. Hawk is to one side with a somewhat vacant and haunted expression upon his face. MacLeod is filthy and covered not only in the blood of your enemies, but also in the dirt and the filth from the passageway that you've just escaped from. Behind you, the prison stands with smoke still billowing out of the tallest of the towers there. You've managed to escape, and your imprisonment has come to an end. Juniper, one of the other prisoners who escaped with you, is standing right next to you as the group, now gathered together, escapes together.
I have a question, if you don't mind.
No, not at all.
For the sake of my mindset, do I remember the little dream sequence adventure that I went on last session?
You do indeed.
Oh, okay. I'm not gonna look at my friends. Just gonna look at the ground and hope real bad we're gonna come to someplace with a bed soon.
You're wet as the rain begins pouring down in heavy sheets, and you're cold and you're tired. Exhausted, you have no spells left. You have expended all of the magical arcane energies that you have built for the day, and now you are seeking desperately for a bed.
I'm very happy all of you are all right, but I heard something might have happened to the inn we were staying in.
It's gone. The inn's gone.
Is everyone all right?
I don't know.
Is that my fault?
No.
It's all of our fault.
Aye.
We need to get out of here. There's a safe place for us, but we have to go now.
We got a place we're staying. Let's just get on. We'll show you. It's lovely.
Okay. I'm gonna follow my friends.
So, you are currently in the southern ward of Waterdeep. You are near the Court of Stars, which is in front of the Magistrate's Keep. It is the place where not only the prison is held, but also all of the official holdings are dealt with, where legal matters are put to rest. It is a bustling financial hub within one of the poorer areas of Waterdeep. Currently, the streets are filled with carriages and horses as they pass through the growing wet mud in the middle of the high road. Do you wish to take the main street south, or do you wish to go north, back towards the City of the Dead?
The way back is through the sewers, correct? Do any of us know how to get there?
Saray was your guide, and Saray is not with your group.
Yeah, where is Saray?
We need to find her.
Is she's all right though?
Oh, yeah, she, we're gonna join us in the jail. I don't know what happened to her.
Okay, can we maybe send Bugsby to go find her?
No, Bugsby's, a bit broken at the minute. Shit, you missed a lot of stuff.
I'm sorry.
It's alright, it's not your fault.
Well, where do you think she would have gone? Did we have some kind of meetup spot?
Oh, we did. We're gonna meet outside of Rosie's, wouldn't we?
Who's Rosie?
A friend of ours.
Yeah, I think you guys will get along pretty well.
Oh, you'll get on, great. Just wondering, does anyone need any... Is everyone feeling alright? I got a couple of shit left for some healing, if anyone wants to be perked up.
June just kind of looks down at herself and looks up at you guys. Kind of defeatist.
Alright, I got it.
Juniper, I don't know what your plans are, but and I don't speak for my party at all, but in my opinion, you are welcome to join us. wherever Rosie's is. I'd like to be someplace safe and quiet for a while. Would you like that too?
I would. I want to make sure that you're safe. My loyalties are only with you. Although I think you're friends, we don't exactly know where we're going at the moment. So wherever you're going, I'm going too.
So Ray, make a acrobatics check as you leap over the building that you are currently climbing across. The figures have pursued you, but you think that you might have an opportunity to lose them.
8.
8?
Mm-hmm.
You slip and slide down noisily off the one side of the building. You manage to catch yourself and leap down to safety, but the wound on your shoulder wrenches and blood fills your shirt as you stumble back to the ground and continue your escape. Another arrow landing right at your foot. So currently, the rest of the party is standing on the edge of Satyr's Lane near the high road.
Know how to get to Rosie's or whoever she is?
I think I can remember.
Do you think or do you know?
Well, I mean, me thinking is pretty much as good as other people knowing.
Juniper, this is the person who I said was very smart.
Hello. Right, so, no, we can get back. That's no trouble. Just, right, okay, first things first. Hi. Juniper, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, my name's MacLeod. This is Hawk. You already know Doddle.
Hello.
You know what? Introductions aside, we'll do that in a minute. Let's go to
we should get out of the open. We did just break out of a prison.
Which begs the question. We know why Doddle was in the prison, but why were you in there?
I think that's my own business, thanks.
I just need to know you're not going to be trouble for us down the road. We already have enough as is.
Hawk, please not now.
Fine, but I got my eye on you.
Yeah, come follow me. Mago grabs Hawk by the arm and then pull him so they're walking at the same pace and slowly away. I think we already know what she was in. I think she murdered someone.
Oh yeah, we had a conversation with them about that.
I'm gonna stay by Juniper because I don't want her to feel left out by these boys that just walked a few feet in front of us.
Appreciated.
So I don't know what you want to do about that. I know that Doddle is pretty good at picking random people up off the street and then having them join our little gang that we have going on, but you know what? We'll get to the place. I think I'm pretty sure she's the same person.
I was hoping it would be somebody else, but
MacLeod, make an intelligence check for me, please.
14.
14. It takes a moment. You're a little foggy because of the situation that you've just removed yourself from. Emotions are a little high. The face of your sister, Willow, is still fresh. It hurts, and it's hard to think. You're always logical and pragmatic, but in this moment, with everything happening, the way that Hawk looked, the strangeness of his eyes, the energies around him, the shadows that played across his face that weren't shadows. You do remember the way to Rosie's shop, but you have to fight for it. You can lead the party there if you like.
Yeah, he does.
You're moving along the streets.
I'll be fine. We'll talk about it later.
All right. You remember the way?
Of course I remember the way, you fucking kidding.
Moving through the streets, Juniper, you've been in Waterdeep for some time. You know a little bit about how this place operates, and rain doesn't really slow the city down any more than sun would. It's still very busy. The streets are full of carts and carriages, horses and merchants who are all going about their daily affairs. You still, however, have a connection to the natural places of the world, and as you're moving through the streets, as this stranger, this strange academic scholar, leads you and your new companions through the twisting, intertwined city in the southern ward of Waterdeep, something feels off.
Can I feel whether it feels off because of who I'm with, or rather just the atmosphere of Waterdeep?
I will give you an answer if you could make a wisdom check for me, please.
8.
8. All you remember is that echoing whisper from the creature that you ran into in the tunnels beneath the prison. That strange alien voice that psychically attacked all of you, ringing through your minds, peeling back your memories. And then it stopped, but something else came in and took its place. Something else began to toy with your memories. As soon as this creature had opened the door, something else slipped through. You can't put a name to it. You don't understand it. You're not even sure if this is real, but you feel as if your mind has been opened and exposed to something very dark.
I'm gonna pick up my pace a little bit and get shoulder to shoulder with Dawdle. Hey, Dawdle, do you feel okay? Do you feel off?
I mean, I've had quite an exciting couple of days. I'm not sure I know myself well enough at the moment to determine whether or not I feel different. I mean, I do feel different, but why are you asking?
Do you feel exposed somehow? Like there's...
I mean, these rags don't really do what they're supposed to do, so I'd very much like to... Yeah?
Your mind. Does your mind feel like someone's poking?
I don't know. Can I roll for it real quick or something? God?
Are you there? It's me, Dawdle.
Do I feel weird?
Dawdle, you have been through so much, and you're exhausted, and you're wet now, and your arcane energies have been spent. The Inquisitor that pushed and prodded at you, this strange, greasy mage that came in and asserted his authority upon both you and Juniper in a time where the two of you were held captive by the city for a crime that you had no choice but to commit. You've defended yourself for days now without much rest, and in that exhaustion, all you feel is tired.
I just feel tired. I'm sorry I can't be of more help. Do you feel off?
You know what? Maybe it's nothing. It's probably just, the trauma of it all. I'll just,
I understand that Megla and Hawk can seem a little off-putting. I can tell they've been through a lot, and it seems like they've lost people very important to them. So please don't let their aggressive or untrustworthy behavior influence your first impression of them. I think they just want everyone to stay safe.
I give trust to those who give. We'll see how it goes.
Hawk, your boots are deep in the mud as you continue to slog forward down the side streets following MacLeod. There is a humming coming from your blade, Ravenwing. It's still charged and echoes with this power. You feel it within yourself. Every step you take, you want to go back. You want to drop the thin veneer that you guard yourself with. and let your spirit, let your wings unfurl. But you know that you cannot. You know how dangerous that would be. There's a hunger that you feel in that time. You still feel it at the pit of your being. It's not in your stomach, it's in your heart. And it's expansive and growing. You're not sure how. But in this moment of hunger, you know someone is watching you from the alley to your right.
I would like to cast Divine Sense.
You focus inward and you reach out, and the divinity, that energy, rises within you. And it seems to actually spiral out from this hunger, this want, this void that is growing within your heart. It's as if you can see all around you. As you continue to walk, you see MacLeod. You see Juniper and Dodalia walking side by side, talking to one another as the rain sheets down and everyone is huddled in, wrapped in whatever garbs they have, which are scant to few. Your escape was not clean by any stretch. But it's as if you can see everything in the street in a moment frozen in time. The rain, as it drops down, slows to almost a crawl. And you see this figure in the alleyway, wrapped in a brown cloak and rags. They should be just another down on their luck, homeless individual that's wandering through the streets of no real concern. They blend in almost perfectly, but it's that which draws you the most keenly to this figure. Whoever this is blends in too well. They seem too perfectly matched within the space, within the city, within this moment. However, you do not sense any power from them. They are not undead. They're not fiendish. They do not bear a celestial mark. But you do see their eyes in that moment. And they meet yours. And the figure turns and runs away.
I'm going to tell that to MacLeod and take off after the figure.
Can MacLeod still see the figure?
We'll make a couple of perception checks as this individual was concealed. You do not see anything. And everyone else in the party also does not see this figure.
Hawk?
Hawk!
MacLeod, where's he going?
Ah, fucking hell. And then Mags is going to run after Hawk. Stay here or follow us.
MacLeod? Look at Juniper. Look at the rags we're wearing. MacLeod, I don't mean to challenge your intelligence at all, but we definitely look like we just broke out of that prison behind us. Do you really want us to stay here?
June's gonna go up to Dottle, take her hand, run, and we run after if you want to.
Yeah!
The entire party bursts into a sprint as they run down the alley after Hawk, chasing after an unseen foe. Saray, make an acrobatics check, please.
12.
You slide across the street. You've put yourself into a position where if you're able to make it through this alleyway, you think that you could subvert the pathway of your pursuers and escape quickly and cleanly.
Okay.
Make an athletics check, please.
Athletics. 22.
You jump over the makeshift wall in the alley. On the other side, there's a number of crates, and as you do so, you quickly push the crates out of the way and continue on as you run further, deeper through this marketplace. And the Court of Stars stretches out before you now. You see the colorful flags of alchemists and other individuals who are selling potions and scrolls. You know that you're close to your destination, but you're bleeding so heavily and your head is beginning to pound. I need you to make a Constitution save.
Nat 20.
And as weakness begins to overtake you, you find some hidden reserve of strength, and immediately you push yourself forward, running even more quickly. I'm going to count that as 2 successes on your athletics, and you leap down the small passageway, and before you is a sign that is hung out before a very colorful pastel tint. Pinks and blues and purples and greens glow outward with almost an internal light, and inside you see the warm glow of the alchemist shop. Potions are hanging from the ceiling and out on the small area that enters into the alcove of this shop. Brightly colored fluids that glow with magical energies. Standing at the front of this is an enormous mountain of a person, a large Goliath orc. Lumpy gray skin, all of it tattooed from head to toe. Shirtless, he wears a pair of leather breeches and large fur boots. The figure doesn't react to your very abrupt arrival, but as you stand before him, your strength fails and you pass out into his arms. He catches you, and everything goes dark. There's a stream, Saray. Water flows through it. It's cold and it's crisp, and trout are currently filling it, swimming in their journey to their spawning ground, where they will eventually die but create life anew. You're sitting, warming yourself on the sun of this bank. What do you look like?
Saray looks a lot smaller than she does now. Still kind of athletic, but just smaller, like hasn't grown fully yet. She still has her long dark hair, and she's wearing similar colors, but on her robe she has like an emblem patched onto it.
What is the emblem?
I have to make it, but there's an emblem.
All right. And so this younger Saray, wild and free, outside of the city, is sitting on the bank of the stream as the water passes by, watching the fish as they swarm in this almost unending torrent of water that is jostling, and they're fighting, swimming upstream. They're working their way against the current. And above you, in the sky, the sun is growing very old, and the light is turning from a bright open blue to a fiery orange. In the distance, you hear the birds, and you know that the others are not too far away. And then you hear it. The trees, they creak in the wind, and everything begins to grow cold. The birds silence themselves, and the wind grows around you. The grass begins to turn brown, and when you look back at the stream, all the fish are floating dead, and the water is red. The fish lap up onto the shore and they reek. All you smell is the rot of their dead corpses as they're pushed onto the shore. The trees now are bare. There are no leaves upon them, but it is not winter. Twisted roots, now dark and gray, reach up from the ground. You feel imprisoned by the trees around you as they creak and groan in the wind. The rock beneath your feet looks like cobblestone. And when you turn again, you're in an alleyway in Waterdeep. And the stream is a road. And the fish are people. Dwarves and humans, elves, all scattered before you in the road, dead, lying on the cobblestone. Streets of Waterdeep are empty. And you look off into the distance and you see further into the heart of Waterdeep itself, the tall buildings and the towers and the castles beyond Castle Ward, beyond the North Ward, where the rich sit proudly. You see figures in the air, flying. Winged creatures with humanoid bodies that circle like vultures. And the sky is red. And it is raining. Hawk. Make an athletics check, please.
That is 11 plus 3, so that's a 14.
You do not see the figure that you had spotted in this alleyway. You're running down it, and there doesn't seem to be any obvious way for them to divert from this path. Further down, you see a dead end, but there is a doorway off to one side that has been closed. It leads into a building. What would you like to do?
I'm going to wait for the others to catch up to me.
You stop at the dead end, and there is the sound of a creak above you. Wood groaning very subtly up to your right above you. MacLeod, at this point, you reach the end of the alleyway and you see Hawk just standing there.
Hawk, come on, we can't just run off like that, okay? We got to stick together, okay?
I heard the creak above me, right?
You did.
I'm going to reach up my hand and Eldritch Blast at it.
Fucking hell, Hawk!
With a spark of arcane energy, dark purplish glowing ravens shoot from your fingertips in an outstretched manner immediately, without even looking, up towards a figure standing on the rooftop to your right. Go ahead and let's resolve the Eldritch Blast.
All right. First one is... That's a 10 and a 10.
So both of your Eldritch Blasts shriek out as ravens are created in this energy, and they blast forward with this beam of energy that swells upward and hits the shingles above you. There's a small explosion, and broken debris rains down on both you and MacLeod as Doddle, you and Juniper both arrive to see this blast occur.
As soon as I see the blast, I'm gonna stop running and just take one step back.
Yeah, I come to a halt.
A moment later, a flare is shot from the top of the roof, and there's a bright, blazing blast. an explosion in the sky that for a moment burns with like a phosphorescent green and then expends itself. Any who are looking at it are just momentarily blinded by it.
Mark, we gotta go.
You're right. You're right. Let's go.
Okay, double time, everyone. Come on, follow me.
Okay, I'm gonna run after MacLeod and Hawk.
I need everyone to make an athletics check, please. Did anyone roll lower than a 12?
Yes.
I'm sorry, what was your roll, MacLeod?
1.
Oh, no.
Not a crit fail, a 2 minus 1.
Oh no.
Oh no. Okay, guys, we got a double time, and then you just trip and eat shit. Follow me, everyone.
The flare extinguishes, and the rest of you turn and begin running backward, the rain beating down around you, mud growing everywhere, and the city streets of Waterdeep are still full. MacLeod, you're recalling the twists and the turns that lead all the way back to the Court of Stars in front of the courthouse that you have just escaped from. The keep that Doddle has been liberated from. You're headed back the way you came. And as you get closer, you begin recalling all of the twists and the turns of the mercantile area, but you're exhausted. And you slip in the mud and fall.
Okay, I would have immediately stopped him and like, MacLeod! And then go up to try and help him.
I'm fine. Fuck off. Just keep going that way.
Okay, I'm sorry.
He goes behind you and picks up your back and is like, run, dude.
Yes, I not taking my eyes off of MacLeod. I'm gonna keep running.
Figures in the street and in the alleyways have noticed this. Eyes are clearly watching you now, and there is a curiosity in the streets as to what it is that these ragged individuals are doing, running through the mud and rain so desperately. As you pull yourself up, MacLeod, you see behind you a number of figures, led by a man with an eye patch and a scar that runs across one brow all the way down to his chin. You recognize this person. It's one of the thugs that you've met in the past from the Grasping Eye. His shaved head and his colorful pauldron that has been painted with the hand and the eye are approaching you now with 2 other gang members flanking either side of this man as he walks towards you down the street.
MacLeod gets up as quick as he can, just puts his hand in his bag and starts pulling out random things, pulls out like a small slob of butter that he pours into this small vial, and some random leaves, he spits in it, shakes it up, and it foams, and he chucks it on the ground and casts grease and bails.
Immediately, the vial shatters behind you as you stand and continue moving. I need everybody to make another athletics check.
As I do that, gonna be like, MacLeod, what's going on?
You may.
Nope, it's fine. Keep going.
Okay.
12.
19.
Sorry, it was athletics?
Yeah.
Yes,
Wow.
that's correct.
Okay, that's a 7.
Right, that's a 4.
You stand and you begin running, and you're exhausted, MacLeod. The day's exertion to just get to this point have brought you to the point where you want to physically break. Your mind is still as sharp as it can be, given everything that you've been through, and the strange echoes of your encounter haunt you. But you are pushing forward very slowly. Doddle, you grab onto MacLeod, trying to pull him forward, but you've slipped in the mud as well and are struggling to remain standing, let alone to run. These figures are determined in their gait as they continue to walk very quickly towards you. Hawk, what was your roll?
Mine was a 19.
Okay, and you got a 12, is that right, Juniper?
Yes.
All right. So the others are further ahead. MacLeod and Doddle have fallen behind as these figures get closer and closer. One of them, you can see, holds a hand crossbow. The other has a scimitar that has been drawn. The other holds a club.
Doddle. I'm gonna need you to look at me right now.
Okay.
Max is like half crouched in the mud. Okay, I'm gonna be fine. You know I'm gonna be fine because it's me, alright? I'm gonna need you to go catch up with them. It's all gonna be okay, right? Just don't look back. It's gonna be absolutely fine, okay?
I don't believe you.
Like, listen, when have I literally ever lied to you? Listen, lying is for bards, not for scientists, okay? I don't fucking lie, alright? Just follow after them. I'm gonna be fine.
I'm gonna say no, and I'm gonna cast Firebolt, please.
MacLeod's like grabbing his pistol and pulling his rifle off of his shoulder.
Hawk's gonna take off his greatsword and cast Green Flame Blade.
You're gonna be my friend, and you're gonna like it.
Donald, were you a 21 for your initiative?
I was.
Okay. Saray, did you have an initiative?
No, I didn't. Did
Okay.
you want me to roll one?
No, it's not important right now. Hawk, what was your initiative?
5.
Hawk was 5, Max was 9.
9. And Juniper, what do you have?
14.
Okay. Doddle, you're up. You were going to cast Firebolt, so go ahead and let's see if you can make that happen.
Oh, that's... Well, that's a 7 plus 8, if I'm correct. If I'm learning D&D slowly but surely.
I believe you are.
Yeah, so that's...
15?
15.
Yeah. So you strike outward, and your firebolt is immediately buffeted against the leather armor of one of the figures behind you. You can go ahead and roll it, but they're going to take half damage.
10 and 16.
Okay, so 16 unmodified, and I think we've proven what Doddle can do with just some cantrips.
All right.
So you do shoot outward, and this flame licks across the armor, and it singes the armor, and you can see like a reddened burn form on one of the figure's faces. Immediately, the figure snarls at you, and you realize that you may have made a mistake.
I'm still gonna stand over MacLeod.
Okay, Juniper, you're up next. What would you like to do?
Yeah, Juniper's gonna. There's a guy with a crossbow, right?
Yes, it's a hand crossbow. They're being somewhat subtle about their weapons and having them out in the open. The hand crossbow is kind of held to the side. They're wearing cloaks and other things, but the figure that has the brightly painted pauldron on is more open about holding the scimitar.
I'm gonna go ahead and form whip the crap out of that, so that it can like possibly get out of his hands. 9.
Okay, so your thorn whip shoots out, and as you create this magical growth that, covered in these sharp, vicious thorns, shoots out from your outstretched hand, it falls short, and the figure slashes it with their scimitar, cutting it in half. It falls and disappears on the ground.
Oh, my baby.
MacLeod, you're up next.
MacLeod, seeing Doddle shoot a fireball, gets some wild idea, and he's gonna turn to her and be like, oh shit, hey Doddle, remember when you started cooking?
Sorta. In theory.
Did you ever end up adding a lot of oil to a hot fire and then it all explodes?
I feel like this is a really odd conversation to be starting right now.
Okay, basically what I'm saying is I'm gonna need you to cast that firebolt again at all this grease that I'm about to create.
Oh, okay.
And then he's gonna cast grease again on the floor with the hopes that Doddle is going to essentially create this fucking massive chip pan fire in the middle of the street.
Yeah,
Just
so
on all of them.
You cast grease twice now, and you throw down another vial, it explodes outward, and the entire area between you and your opponents here is fairly well greased. It's hard to see in the rain, but it does look like it's picked up an oily slickness that beads the water up on the cobblestone and the dirt in front of you. Hawk, it is now your turn. What would you like to do?
I'm going to point to the man holding the scimitar, and in Celestial, I shout grovel.
Okay. So you focus your divine energies, and they work their way through your body, and immediately with this echoing, powerful, dark voice, the celestial word for grovel echoes throughout the street in front of you. Let me make I believe it's wisdom save. Is that correct?
Yeah, DC 15.
Natural 1.
Oh my god.
He got a natural 1. Okay, so whenever we roll a natural 1 or a natural 20, we roll to confirm it. And if it is 2 natural 1s or natural 20s, something amazing or horrendous happens. It's just a house rule that follows through all my campaigns. And no, did not roll 2 natural 1s in a row. However, as your voice echoes through you said you were aiming it at the one with the crossbow?
The man with the scimitar.
Scimitar. Okay, so the leader of this group. Yeah, the eye patch. As your voice echoes through, there's a look that slowly rises, and the man falls to the ground, kneeled before you.
Just for flavor and story, when that happens, when I hear the celestial word boom and this man start groveling in front of Hawk, can I turn to look at Hawk in fear?
You may.
I do that.
As you look to Hawk, echoes of what just occurred play through your mind. The tattered wings, the strange, pale visage, but most importantly, his dead, hollow eyes, looking at all of you. Those eyes that drank in any amount of light around them. Completely black, like the void. And you knew that you were not simply looking into his eyes. You were looking into Hawk's very heart. That's the end of the round. The other two stop immediately. One of them turns and shoots a crossbow bolt at you, but they do not continue to pursue as their leader has just fallen to the ground. Hawk, that bolt is coming towards you. Your AC currently is 15?
My AC is 19.
Oh. The bolt strikes you and falls to the ground harmlessly as your armor deflects it. The rest of you, do you begin running now?
Mag goes up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's run.
Everybody make an athletics check.
Fireball.
All right. I'm gonna look at the grace and look at our enemies and say, Even Spear Dufa, which is Elvish for light it up. Good snap and cast Firebolt.
When you snap your fingers, fire ignites across the street, and a blaze brightens the entire area. And despite the rain, the fire burns low and brightly. It spreads out wildly, and the chaos that it causes amongst the streets within Waterdeep in the southern ward allows you and your friends to slip off into the alleys, as there are shouts and panic screams from the citizens around. The three figures that were pursuing you for a moment are blocked away by a flaming wall. Everybody make your athletics saves.
Yes. Mine was 18.
18.
17.
17.
That's 4 for me.
Could we have advantage because of the firewall of flame?
It's a fair question, but the
Pretty
answer
please, DM.
is no.
Okay, I got a 2.
A 2. Okay.
Oh no. Yeah, maybe it's just your general luck.
It's
my
all right.
aura.
I will say that because of the flame, however, your opponents are not able to easily pursue. You've created a decent moment that is going to allow your pursuers to have to fight their way past a few obstacles. Not only the fire, but the individuals that are swarming to deal with the fire that has been created. I need a second athletic save, please. I say save, but I mean check.
From all of us?
Yes.
Oh my good
no.
lord. I tried to switch it up.
9.
5.
Okay, so... Yes. All of you are sliding across the muddy streets as you careen down the alleyway. It's noisy and lacks any sort of grace. Hawk, at one point you fall and you grab onto a banner that you rip off of a wall. Dawdle, You are skidding across the street as you grab on to the legs of anybody close by to just keep hurtling yourself forward as all of you push through crowds within the mercantile area known as the Court of Stars. Juniper, you almost crash into a pillar, and part of a porch on one of the merchant stands swings open, and a cart full of apples rolls out into the street behind you. This is your final athletics check. I would like for all of you to roll one more time.
Oh, thank God. 19.
10.
You know you're having a specific type of game when you're excited about a roll of a 9.
No, I'm excited about a roll of a 6. That's the best I've rolled today.
I mean, for you, that's almost like an automatic success.
That's a nat 20, right?
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right, Doddle, did you get a natural 20?
No, dirty.
Okay. So, Doddle, you do manage to find your footing towards the area that you're all following MacLeod. And the thing about it is that MacLeod is careening like a drunken swan through the street, kind of falling almost head first instead of running. He's been slipping through the mud and pulling on whatever is close by to remain upright. You've left a swath of angry merchants and city folk behind you, but you have managed to make it to a brightly colored pastel merchant tent. And inside, it's very warm and inviting. There are vials and bubbling fluids that are filled in multiple different vials. There's distilling happening on other devices as you are currently standing in front of Rosee's shop.
Do I know it's Rosie's shop? Is there a sign that
This
says
is where we're going.
Rosie's?
This is where we're going. No, this is the place where we're heading.
Give me just a moment here. So, to answer your question, Doddle, there is a sign. It doesn't have any lettering on it, but it is a gemstone that has been painted with a very happy-looking, almost childish-looking face with a winking eye.
Can I look in the tent?
As you enter into the alcove of the shop, it seems empty and you're dripping wet. So you're standing there, and immediately as you cross the threshold of this tent, you immediately are warmed by some sort of glow within the space. And the counter stands before you. It is full of glassware and vials, and you do not see anyone. What would you like to do?
Hello? You sure it's okay for us to be here?
Oh, no, absolutely. She helped us out before. She's like this fucking shit-hot genius alchemist. We'll be fine here. We're just... This is where we're supposed to be. I think this is where we're supposed to be meeting Saray. And then once we've all gathered, we can do some recon and then head back home.
Okay, get in.
As everybody crowds into the space, there's a shimmer in the back of the room and an enormous hulking figure, head scraping the top of the tent, pushing vials back as he emerges. An enormous half-orc, a Goliath of muscle and strength, without a shirt, is covered in tattoos and leather breeches with fur boots. The figure stands before all of you, glowering.
This is Bone Splitter. You're right, Bone Splitter. Is Saray here?
Figure looks down to all of you and turns, waving his hand backward. You can see that there is a very small tent flap that is open, and it leads into a back room.
All right, go on.
I'd like to start going that way, and as I pass Bone Splitter, I'd like to put my hand out and say, "It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. My name is Doddle."
This enormous hand wraps around your entire forearm and very politely shakes it.
May I ask? I apologize, and please feel free to stop me and correct me if anything I am about to say is offensive, but do you happen to be a full orc?
I am not full orc.
Oh, wow, so are full orcs even bigger than you are?
I am half Goliath.
Oh my goodness! Wow, you are quite an impressive specimen, if I do say so myself, sir.
Thank you.
Do you work out, or is this just, your natural build?
Does everybody else walk through the tent in the back?
MacLeod is trying to hurry everyone along.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, we are in I would very much like to sit down and perhaps have a conversation with you later. I am very interested in your lineage, and then I'm just going to follow MacLeod.
I just walk by, I look at Bone Splinter and go,
So all of you step through the tent and into the back room. And immediately, it is no longer a tent. You're immediately within a laboratory, and there are a number of large tables that have been finely kept. They're very brightly painted, and each of them is a different color. There is a pink table, a blue table, and a green table. And on each of them are different tools of the alchemy profession. And the walls are all this really bright, shimmering, glittery painted color, and they're wood. There is a floor beneath your feet that is very plushly carpeted with a number of rugs that have been stacked up over each other, and they're all this kind of like explosion of rainbow tapestry that has been woven together with very brightly colored threads and yarns. It's very warm and welcoming. In the center is a strange-looking fire. It's glowing with a brilliant blue, and there are bubbling liquids in vials hanging above it. But there is also a number of large gems that are inset into the center of this room, and they're glowing with a bright pink light. On the table, on the blue table in the center of the room, you see Saray, and she's been laid out. She's soaking wet and covered in mud, and you can see that she has a number of wounds. From the table, blood is dripping.
Saray, I want to run over to the table immediately.
Hawk's gonna run over, and he's going to use his, here, let me see. Features and traits, class features. He's going to use his lay on hands for 20 points on Saray.
Does anybody want to do anything else?
MacLeod is immediately going to go over and start war medicing her. Takes out his healer's kit and starts placing things on the table, random vials of shit, and then whilst everyone else is doing magical healing, he's gonna look her over.
Juniper, is there anything you would like to do?
Definitely. I'm looking now.
Can I use prestidigitation to start cleaning her up?
You may.
I start doing that little by little.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do cure wounds on her.
Okay, so here's what happens. All of you, upon entering into the back room of Gimmersparks Gems, which is Rosee's shop, immediately push forward, rush to the table, and start to administer whatever means of curative magics or medicine that you may have at your disposal. And you hear very loudly,
Excuse me very much, but I would like to talk to all of you about the rudeness of when somebody else is going to be doing something and then all of a sudden you step in and you start doing the thing that the other person's doing. Because we started out here right now and I was already doing the things that you're doing now. So if I'm going to help out, I might as well be helping you and not having you do the things that I'm going to do, because it doesn't seem very smart for us both to be doing the same thing at the same time. My name is Rosee. How are you doing? What are you doing here? Are you friends of Saray's?
I'm sorry. My name is Dottle. It's a pleasure to meet you. Yes, I'm sorry.
It's nice to meet you. I really like your ears. I like your glasses. I like your robes. Where did you get them? Oh, wait, these are rags. Are you a prisoner?
I was a prisoner, yes.
That's very scary.
Jill?
I'm so sorry. We didn't mean to barge in or anything, and just Saray is our friend, and we really wanted to heal her, so we just panicked, and in the moment, I'm so sorry. I looked inside to see if anybody was here so that we could potentially...
I completely understand what you're saying. Yes, yeah, I understand panic, and by the way, I'm very chill right now. This is me actually rather relaxed and focused. If you've ever seen me upset or very frantic, I'm sure you would understand. This is my friend Saray. We're best friends, and she writes me letters. She's supposed to write me 2 more.
Oh, that's wonderful.
She's already written me 1, and it's very good. It's sitting on the table over there if you'd like to read it.
Oh, maybe perhaps later, but it's such an honor to meet Saray's best friend. Did I mention my name was Doddle? I'm so sorry.
You did mention your name was Doddle. I like your name. It's very fun. It reminds me of my friend Garl's name, and it wasn't Doddle, but it was something similar to that. It was named Doodle.
Oh, okay. What was your name again?
My name is Rosee Gimmersparks, and I'm a friend of Saray's. I've been here for a while. This is my shop. What are you doing here?
Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm gonna reach my hand down and say this is so nice to meet you, and it's such an honor to meet Saray's best friend. We just broke out of prison, and we were told that we could meet here. I'm so sorry. Is that all right? I don't mean to impose on you or make you feel unsafe in any way, and we can absolutely move on if that would be more comfortable for you.
No, I don't want you to go anywhere. I want you to stay here. We can all be friends. I'm trying to help you out anyway, even though you're really doing some dangerous things with that goldfish and everything else that's happening. It could be very bad for all of us, but I am okay here.
Oh, wonderful. Well, it can't be so bad if we met each other and we're friends now.
We managed to put some protective glyphs up, so by the way, right now you're going to be okay for a little while, at least as far as I can tell. There might be things that are going to countermand that, and I did give your friend here 2 potions, and by the way, there's additional letters that need to be written to me because all of us are friends now, and those letters need to come to me in time, not 1, not 2, not 3, but all the time. And this is how this is going to work for a little while. So the figure that has stepped out from behind the table, you didn't see her when you first entered because she's so short, is a small gnomish individual with bright pink hair that is shooting straight up into the sky. And she has these really bright blue eyes and very, very kind of like a lavender pastel skin. She has currently an apron on, and she is wearing these really bright silver-colored boots and brightly colored clothes. She has a number of different tools, and she works her way around Saray. Saray, your eyes slowly open.
Saray, can I run back over to her? Are you okay? What happened? Do you want to sleep longer?
Yeah.
It's all right. By the way, we got everyone. We're all here. Good job at getting out and whatever you did. You clearly had a little scuffle there, but it's all okay. I got you. We got some. Your wounds all cleaned up. Feel free to rest. We got some time. There's apparently walls all around, so don't worry about it. We also have a new friend. We'll introduce you afterwards. We'll wait for you to properly rear your head and wake all back up and stuff before we talking about where we need to go and what we need to do and stuff like that. But basically, you're all right. We're all right. You did fucking good, pal.
Yeah, well, we were at the prison. We figured it would be more of a bargain if we got 2 people out instead of 1.
Great.
Is there anything that I can give her, like a pillow or anything? Because I'm just wearing rags. I don't have a cloak or anything. Can I look around to see if there's anything in here that can make her more comfortable?
Yeah, she's okay on the table. There's a bedroll that's in a corner if you want to pick that up and like try to help her out a little bit.
I would. I'd like to ask Rosie's permission, though. Would it be all right if I use this bedroll to try and make her more comfortable, Miss Rosee?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm so sorry because what was happening before was that she was brought in by Bone Splitter, and I didn't have a lot of time to stop and think about things. We were just immediately on triage here, and I was trying to help her so that she wouldn't die, and she was in pretty bad shape. She took a wound from here, 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 and she took a bruise over here, and here, and here, and here, and here, and then she almost had a concussion, but luckily my potions were able to help her, and I think it stabilized her. But then all you came in, and you started to heal her as well, and I think that's pretty great that you really care about your friend and my friend, because she's my friend first. I just want to make that really clear, that while she could be your friend, she's also my friend, but she's my friend before your friend. And so we've been working on this for a little while. I mean, it hasn't been that long, maybe a couple of minutes, but I've been working, and she stops and she turns and she puts down this pair of like magnifying lenses that make her eyes even larger. And then she looks at you, Hawk. Oh, that's not very good. It looks like my potion wore off. Your skin's no longer blue. Well, if I had been able to do that a little bit better, maybe it would have lasted a little bit longer. Did you give your potion to your other friend?
Actually, no, Doddle is our other friend. We haven't had time. We just kind of... Oh, Saray, have you still got the potion on you?
And I like try and go for my bag, but I'm probably missing.
Yeah,
I got it.
Actually, Rosee, it turned my skin pink. It was very nice of you. Thank you.
Well, it was supposed to turn your skin blue, but if it turned it pink, then that means that the counter effects may need to be adjusted. I'll have to work on it a little bit more. Maybe we can make it last longer. Maybe we can make it a better color of pink. What color of pink do you like? I like all colors of pink. Have you seen the pink that I've made my hair?
I have seen the pink. It's very nice. You know, I'm more into wearing blacks, but I think that would be a great one for Doddle. Doddle seems to like pink.
Oh, I don't know. I think you should try things. New things are always good things to try. And by the way, Saray's going to feel better here fairly quickly. I think that there might be some side effects. She may feel a little bit woozy just for a little while, but I think that'll pass. And if we continue to work together, I think we can get you through your situation with the goldfish and all. I think you've made a lot of poor choices as you've gone along in your adventuring path, but I think that we can kind of put you back onto the right path. I don't think you can stay here too long because my wards won't last forever, especially if they're using powerful magics.
At the mention of poor choices, Doddle's smile is just gonna fade a bit.
Oh, actually, Rosie, would you mind getting us some clothes for our little friend here? It looks like you're around possibly the same size. It's just wearing rags in the street ain't really going to be that becoming.
She jumps up onto the table and grabs you by the collar and pulls you really close, Maglo.
Are you saying we're going to play dress up?
We're absolutely going to play dress up.
I'm gonna jump up on the table too and grab Maglo. Oh my god, are you gonna say that we're gonna play dress
Oh my god,
up?
okay. I just want to let you know that Saray is also on, like, right next to us, and I can't have you over. Can we please just...
Can I grab Rosie's hands and say, Rosie, it would be such an honor to receive a makeover from you.
Oh my gosh, we got to do this right now. I have other things that we have to do to make sure that Saray is okay, but first and foremost, we're going to have a dress-up party, and everybody's going to change their clothes. Let's go.
Wait, Rosie.
We don't have time. There's no time to talk. Donald, this is the most important thing that's ever happened in the existence of Faerun.
I'm gonna point at my other friend that's in prison, Rex. What about Juniper?
I have just the thing.
And she runs across the shop and the laboratory, and she immediately flings open a door. And inside the door is a walk-in closet, and there's like a disco light that shines from inside with like some sort of magical orb on the top. And you can see just rows and rows of brightly colored fabric.
Can I grab Juniper's hands and say, this might be fun. It might not be the best way to blend in, but don't you want to get out of the rags and feel a little bit comfier? We can maybe have like a party or something tonight. We're safe. Isn't that good?
June turns around slowly and looks dead inside as she stares into your eyes. Sounds great, friend.
Give me a smile and follow Rosie.
Saray, make a Constitution save for me, please.
Nope, 5.
Okay, so you still feel woozy and sore as you sit up. So Saray does seem to be moving around. Rosie takes Juniper and Doddle into the walk-in closet and starts throwing fabric and clothes at you, just very frantically, rolling on and on. She doesn't stop talking long enough to even take a breath. Talking about the various fashions of Waterdeep and how she finds them fairly atrocious, and that where she's from, she manages to find all kinds of great clothes, and she's going to share them with you right now.
Doddle hangs on her every word and just nods once.
Yeah, so you're given a pair of very brightly colored pants and a like kind of a flowy pirate-like shirt, and it is really bright yellow, and the pants are kind of a patchwork array of these glittery gem-like colors of every imaginable type. And she gives you a pair of shoes that have curls on them with big buckles, and the buckles look like they should be pretty heavy, but they're actually fairly light, and they're comfortable. You have a pair of socks that go all the way up to your knees, and she wraps you with a scarf that you can use to kind of conceal your face if you choose. It is striped and has stars painted all across it. And then she gives you a really big, warm-looking coat that is bright purple and has like kind of a fur lining on it. Juniper, she gives you a pair of like teal robes and a big purple scarf that almost drags all the way onto the ground. She gives you a pair of boots that actually end up fitting you very well. They're cuffed and they're very jaunty, and they also have like 6 buckles along the side of them. She gives you a pair of gloves, and the gloves are elbow length, satin looking, like gloves that you would wear to a very formal event. and it doesn't really kind of go with anything else. But they're a deep purple, and they do look good with your robes. And then she gives you a cloak with a hood on it, and that is instead of teal or purple, it's a very, very bright pink. So each of you now has a set of very colorful traveling clothes. They're well made and would be considered fancy by anyone's standards. Although it's an explosion of color that doesn't make a lot of sense. Meanwhile, in the other room, Bone Splitter kind of watches as all of this is happening. MacLeod, Hawk, Saray, what do you do?
I'm like groggy AF as I get up, and I'm just like, did anything bad happen? Did you guys get caught or?
We didn't get caught, but a lot of bad stuff happened. Can I get my boots back? Because I can't fucking run in these.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Takes his shoes off. So, they found us. They have definite means of tracking us, which is great. They were mainly after the fish, because I was holding it, and they were mainly attacking me, and I'm not marked, so we can assume that they want. Obviously, they're primarily tracking the fish, but we're able to take care of a lot of them. They're working with ithalids, which is fucking great for us. I don't know if it's related in any way. I think Inquisitor Sternward is dead. He might not be dead.
That's the person in the guard that you had connection with.
Yeah, the fucking phony prick. But there was no confirmed body, but it seemed like he probably was crushed under the stuff. I did use my real name the whole time, which I understand is a bad idea, but I'm not great at lying, so I decided just to, instead of lie a lot, just lie a little bit. And also, if anyone saw me, they'll know my name, and then that'll be another thing, which would mean the cover would be blown. That's another thing for another time. Basically, if any guards find out and they find me, I'm probably going to be hung for impersonating an Inquisitor.
I hate to say it, but getting hung might be the least of our worries, considering who they're aligned with.
Basically, even though nothing went particularly wrong, a lot of things also went wrong at the same time. Like, really, okay. It's either one of two things. It's either fine, it don't matter, we didn't get caught. Now, many people know that we were there. We've got Doddle back. We have possibly a new friend, possibly someone who's going to be a pain in the ass, but we'll figure it out later. So it's fine. It's either fine or we are fucked. And it's one of those two options, and I'm trying to figure out which one it is. The Grasping did not follow us here, but was there for a long time, followed us a lot of the way. We managed to get away, but
by setting the city street on fire.
But we got away.
I was also running from some figures. I thought they were guard at first, but I think they were Grasping Eye.
Okay. Well, at least we know that the city's not after us. That's fine. Worst things.
Get this fish situation taken care of, and we need to get out of this city as quickly as possible.
I think we need to get out of this city.
Hey, Rosee.
Yeah, hi. Oh, I'm glad you're feeling better. It's really good to see that you're up and around. It's been really kind of concerning to me because you're my best friend, and I'd hate for anything to happen to my best friend because we were going to have a lot of fun together. We're going to have sandwiches, and we're going to have tea parties, and we're going to do other things. And we're going to talk about my buttons and my hair and everything about my... Oh. And here's Juniper. Look what I did to them.
You both...
Can I step out and be like, ta-da?
Look at the shoes, look at the buckles, look at the jacket and the hair.
You both look fucking brilliant.
Great.
Great.
Hey, Rosee, did you figure out any way to permanently stop the tracking on the fish?
Well, it's fascinating that you would ask that. I've been thinking about that quite a bit, and now that I'm studying your friend Hawk here, I'm starting to learn some other things. Like, for instance, when I was supposed to make his skin turn blue, it actually turned pink, and then that means that the effects were not quite what I was expecting, which is not all that surprising considering that I took a very short amount of time to create what I think is a pretty brilliant alchemy potion, and given that it did what it was supposed to do, which was supposed to buffet away the magical scrying that was happening upon you because you had opened up what shouldn't have been opened, that box or whatever it was that you told me that you opened, that revealed to you that there was a goldfish had a special ward on it. And when that ward was ignited, it caused some sort of magical reaction, which means that now whenever you move across the city, they're going to know where you are. They can track you through a number of different magical effects. And if I'm going to create something that's going to be permanent, it's going to take a little bit of experimentation and it's going to take a lot of time. And frankly, I have a lot of resources here, but I don't have everything that I need. And I know that you were working on something else and that you had a couple of feelers out in the city where you were trying to sell some items. And maybe when you do that, we might be able to find some other components, and those components might be able to help me make it more permanent. But meanwhile, you're going to have to do with temporary solutions. Temporary solutions to a permanent problem is something that I can provide, but I don't know that I can provide a permanent solution to a permanent problem.
Rosee, I think we're going to leave the city.
She kind of like looks sad for a moment. But if you leave the city, we can't do tea parties, and then we can't do we can't make sandwiches, and we can't have talks, and I won't be able to see you for very much. And since you're my best friend, I can't allow that to happen.
I know, Rosee. But it's not safe for us here now.
But what about the inn and all the people that were in it?
I'm pretty sure they're all dead, Doddle.
This is like possibly the only thing that's going to stop all of us from dying.
Even if we leave the city, they'll still be able to track us. We need to get this tracker off us, but if they're in line with the mind flayers, we have to go.
Wait, mind flayers?
Yeah, the Ithalids that they're working for them, the mind flayers.
There was at least one of them, but gone away.
Yeah, we need to go.
Did you say Illithid? Illithids are horrible creatures, and I can tell you right now that they're no good, but they do have certain flaws, and if you're able to exploit those flaws, that sometimes you can work it against them and be able to defeat them. It's not an easy thing to do, and I know a lot of my friends who worked below a long time ago didn't make it out alive, but I can tell you right now that there are ways to do that.
Wait, you have friends that fought the might? Wait, I need to know everything that you told me, please.
Everything that I told you about what? Would you like to start with my buttons and my hair and how cute I am and how clever I am and what I can do with an alchemy potion? Would you like to start with the basics? Would you like to hear my whole life story? I could begin at the very beginning.
Rosee! Although, Rosee, I would love to hear that in a letter if you want to send me a letter about your life.
I would love to send you a letter. I like writing letters, but you know what I like more than writing letters? I like to read letters. And by the way, there's a couple of letters that are owed. And who's going to write me letters? What about you? And she points to you, Doddle. Are you going to write me letters when you leave?
Rosee, I need to know about the mind flayers. I need to know how to kill them.
Oh, that's really hard. I don't think that you can easily kill a mind flayer because they're actually very difficult creatures. They're not really from here. You see that there's a number of different planes and they're stacked on top of each other. And sometimes one plane will intersect with another plane and there are creatures from the great beyond. And that beyond doesn't have a really place or a form or anything like that. It actually is very, very dangerous because it's full of alien creatures from alien minds, but that don't even really have any sort of sense of time or scope or even understanding, but they do work together. It's like a hive.
I was just gonna say, while Rosee is talking, may I go over to Bone Splitter and just quietly be like, that front section of the store, is that also under protection so that people can't track us in there?
The large half-orc looks down at you with big, kind of deep, understanding eyes, and then shakes his head.
Magda would like to put a hand on Doddle's shoulder. You plan on running away again?
I'm just gonna shake my head. No, that was a terrible, terrible, terrible mistake.
Sometimes mistakes happen. It's fine. You gotta make a lot of mistakes before you figure out what's right and what works. It's all science, isn't it?
I'm afraid I don't accept that. I really need to be just alone for just a few seconds, please. Is there anywhere I can do that?
As you're looking around, Doddle, you realize that the closet is currently empty.
Well, that's slightly embarrassing. Yeah, I'm just gonna go into the closet, I guess.
Right, and
close
you
it.
close the door. What do you do when you're in there?
I'm gonna cry.
Okay. So you begin crying as you're surrounded by these.
I try not to make too much noise, but it's you can probably hear it.
Yeah. So you're surrounded by these rainbow fabrics and coats and clothes and all of these shining shoes and jewelry and gems. And the room is very bright, and there's this happy spin of magical light inside of it. And you stand there and you cry. In the main space, Rosee is at full speed, explaining a lot of what sounds like lore about the Illithids, but it's very, very complicated. What she's currently spending a lot of time talking about is the mental effects of a mind flayer and how they all work as a unified whole, and that it's rumored that each of them is in some way linked to every other mind flayer that has ever existed or ever will exist, and that they don't have the same sense of time that other creatures have. She has not stopped to take a breath this entire time.
Talking like a bat out of hell.
But Rosee, is there any way, there's nothing that you can do to stop them from tracking this goldfish currently?
So, Ray, we're best friends, and we've been through a lot together, but I think I should go ahead and clarify one more time for you that I'm a brilliant alchemist, and that I don't know if you've noticed or not, but my hair and my buttons and everything about me is pretty great, and I can definitely make sure that they can't find you for a short period of time, but it's a temporary solution to a long-term problem, and it's not something that I can just fix the wave of a wand. That's not how science or magic works. It all takes time, and by the way, speaking of time, you're going to need to spend some time writing some additional letters. Let's see, how many extra letters are you going to write me, Sir Ray? Let's talk about that. Were you talking about 2 letters, or 3 letters, or 4 letters? How many letters is all this worth to you?
All the letters. I will always write you a letter.
Do you mean it? Do you really mean it? Because, by the way, if you were not going to pinky swear, I was going to make you pinky swear. And she, jumps up onto you and it, holds her pinky out.
There's no need to pinky swear, Rosee.
But if we don't pinky swear, then how do I know you're going to keep your promise? Because sometimes people don't keep their promises and they leave you behind, and then you're all alone, and then you have to find your friends, and then you have to find new friends, or you have to make new friends, and then you don't have a family. But you can find a family, you can make a family. It's not the hardest thing in the world to do. I've done it before, and I've lost them too. But I can find you, no matter what. I'll find you. She's still holding her pinky out to you.
I hold my pinky out.
And she wraps her little pinky around yours and shakes on it.
There, it's a deal. By the way, we're going to be friends forever.
And she jumps off and she's grabs
That's great, but I need that permanent solution.
I'm working on it right now. Look, I'm trying to do 3 things at once. Your friend Hawk was asking some very interesting questions about Illithids and mind flayers, which is a pretty dangerous question. And if you're
I would love to continue to have this conversation about them, but if that's the case, then we need to get out of the city as fast as possible.
How fast is fast? Because we can make you leave the city real fast, but it's actually pretty dangerous, and I don't think you should do it. I think you should leave the city by more conventional means. We're already using a lot of magic right here, but if I'm going to expend resources to get you so that you're protected so they can't find you immediately, then it's probably a good idea for us to stay on the down low and make sure that you leave in a way that nobody can find you.
Exactly. Yes, we want to leave in a way where no one can find us. Right?
Is there anything else you need to do? Is there anything else you need to do with the city? Is there anything that you have to grab? Do you have any other friends with you that you want to find before you leave? Because if you do, you better do it now, because we don't have very much time and everything is going to happen pretty quickly here. And if they're trying to track you right now, I can give you a potion that'll last for a few hours, and that few hours is going to expend, and then I'll have to give you another potion. But then that potion will expend until you get outside of the city, and once you're outside of the city walls, I imagine it's going to be a lot harder for them to find a way to track you.
We should probably get the stuff from the crypt.
Is Donald okay? Because it sounds like Donald is crying. I can hear you crying in the other room, and I know that I'm not very socially inept, but I need to say right now that somebody is bawling.
Oh, yeah. No, it's fine. Just let her have this.
I don't know. I don't ever, when people cry, I typically kind of think it means that they're not having a good time or that they're upset. Is it something that I said? Is it something that I did? Did she not like the makeover? Oh my gosh, did she not like the makeover? Was it something that I did with the pants? I knew that they weren't the right pants.
Jeez, no. Listen, Rosee, the makeover's literally perfect. It's just, we've been through a lot over the last couple of days, and she just needs 5 minutes alone just to get it all out, and then it'll be fine. Don't worry, you did.
Make a perception or make a persuasion check.
Crit fail.
Oh my gosh, it's totally the pants. And immediately Rosee turns and runs up to the door and flings it open, and Donald is standing there crying.
I'm gonna immediately pretend like I wasn't crying and be like, oh god, yeah, this cleared up my my allergies somehow. I guess. Hi, Rosee. What are you doing? What's up?
I failed you, and I am so sorry. I'll never do it again, Donald. I know we've just met, and I know you're just going to start writing me letters, but I want to make sure that you understand that I will never fail you again. The pants that you're wearing are completely unacceptable, and MacLeod told me the truth. It was hard.
Rosee, may I stop you there? The pants are wonderful, Rosee. The whole makeover was wonderful. It feels so nice to be in clothes that are clean and had care put into them. It's not the makeover. I just needed a second to breathe and process. I'm fine now.
She looks to you, and then without hitting or missing a beat, she turns and starts talking about elithids again. And she's looking at you, Hawk. Juniper, what are you doing?
June just kind of sunk to the floor and just kind of has her head in her hands because she can take everything in with how fast Rosie's going.
Yeah. And I'm trying to do Rosee justice, but her voice is really high pitched. So it sounds a little bit closer like this, but if I did this the whole time, I think I would probably break something.
Can I sit beside Juniper and while Rosie's fucking going off, I'm just gonna be like, do you want to use the closet for a little bit?
June's gonna look at you, stand up, go in the closet.
I am going to sit in front of the closet.
And you just hear this inhuman scream.
So there's a chalkboard in the Space Hawk, and Rosee has begun drawing, and she's actually very good. I mean, she's taken a stick, and on the stick is a piece of chalk, and she's immediately kind of rubbed it across the thing, and there's a fairly good illustration, a scientific illustration of an elithid, and she starts talking about what the tentacles do and about how they consume living flesh and brains and why they do that. And how the tentacles actually wrap around and drain psychic energy, and how they use this energy to expand their own consciousness and their ability to communicate within a network of themselves. I don't know. I don't think Hawk knew very much about the abilities that these creatures had, but if what this gnome is telling you is true, they're far more powerful than you ever imagined.
I'm just gonna hug my knees a little bit tighter as she talks.
You said that you knew people that fought them underground.
Fought is kind of a difficult thing to say, because actually, if you look at the way that the situation played itself out, I would say that they more or less just died.
What were their names, by chance? Maybe I met them while I was underground.
They're all gnomes, yeah, and it wasn't in the Underdark, but you probably didn't know them. There was Beryl, and there was Misril, and there was Grekel, and none of them made it out alive. Each of them was traveling through a certain area that they shouldn't have been in, and when they ran across what was standing there, the creature was able to force them to do things that they didn't want to do, despite the fact that they were all very, very, very strong of the mind. It was very difficult.
Yeah, that's what happened to my people, too.
That's how they do it. They find ways into the cracks and the crevices of your head, and then they get in there, and then they make you do things that you wouldn't normally do, and it's very bad, but sometimes you can find ways around it.
Is that why you changed Hawk?
I've always been able to do that, but it was different beforehand. I'll tell you about it later.
Okay, but please do tell me about it.
Okay. So, you said that there was a way around it, Rosee.
Yeah, there's a way around everything if you know how to think about things. Sometimes you gotta say to yourself, well, look, I'm on a road. Which way is my road going? Am I gonna go the way that I'm supposed to go, or am I gonna turn around and think with it around a different way? Maybe I'm gonna go down a side way. Maybe it's gonna be an alleyway. Maybe it's gonna be something that nobody knew was even there before. Maybe I'm gonna open a door, and maybe in that doorway there's gonna be a whole new world of ways and possibilities to affect things and problems that I didn't think about when I started.
You said that they all are connected, right?
I clearly said that. I said it about 4 times in my dissertation. Were you paying attention? Do you want me to start from the beginning? Because I can. We can start at the very beginning where you talk about the...
If they're all connected, is there one who is slightly more connected than the rest?
That's an interesting speculation. I'm not sure. Nobody's ever really been able to say, because to find that, you'd have to get to the heart of it all. And in the heart of it all, they're not what would be known as, like, if you've ever watched a community of bees, you know, there are the drones, and then the drones are out there in the open, and then there's the queen, and the queen is in the center, guarded by the hive. So to be able to find out the answer to your question, you'd have to go some places that would be very dangerous. You probably wouldn't make it back out alive. I know that none of my friends were able to, or none of the other gnomes that I know that were ever traveling through those spaces had ever been able to talk about anything other than the mind flayers that everybody else has seen. But it is an interesting speculation as to whether or not there might be some sort of species divination that would actually allow them to be diverted from other types of mind flayers. There might be others that do things that are meant to control the others, or maybe there might be a central brain or some sort of powerful mind flayer in the center of it all that controls the others.
I'm trying to think of it like, what if instead of bees, the mind flayers are more like leaves on a tree, and all we need to do is get to the base of it and kill it.
That's
if
an
we
interesting.
kill the base of the tree, then all the leaves die.
That's an interesting thought. I'm not sure if you want to change the scope of how we're thinking about this. We might have to do some additional research. It's going to take time, and that's certainly not something that we have right now. How are you going to want to handle this? Do you have anything else to take care of in the city before you go, or are you going to be just leaving from here?
Yeah, I have to talk to the Grave Master, definitely.
There's some stuff. There's like a clockwork dragon that I want so fucking bad, and it's like kind of all it's been on my mind over the last couple of days.
Donald and I are missing some supplies. We both probably would like to get those back.
Are you saying this from inside the closet, or have you come out now?
She poked her head out a little.
Okay.
Right.
If I'm to be any help to you guys, I'd like to have my equipment with me, especially with that one. She nods her head towards Hawk in our group.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, I think you know, don't you, bud?
No, I'd like you to say it out loud. Please.
Okay, you turned into a fucking demon, and you did some shit which I personally ain't the biggest fan of, because it's kind of like
shooting an unarmed man in a sewer like that, MacLeod?
No, Hawk. No, I know who I am. I'm a soldier. If shit needs doing, you gotta do it, because otherwise we're not gonna be here. I ain't saying what you did wasn't justified. I ain't saying you didn't need to turn into fucking the devil. I'm just saying maybe we could have get a bit of heads up before you fucking use the souls of the people that we love to kill other people. Like, I would have liked to have known that you could have done that, actually. I don't care that you fucking kill people. I kill a lot of people. It's kind of my job. I'm just not a fan of, you know what, bud? Don't fucking matter, right? We're out now. We have, what is it, like a couple hours before all of Waterdeep knows that we're the ones that broke you out, because I'm a fucking idiot and I used my real fucking name whilst trying to get the pair of you out. And we specifically told one of the heads of Waterdeep that we were going to help him, and instead we went right against him. As well as the fact that possibly the most powerful group of people that any of us have ever met are against us, and this fucking mysterious third party who also want us all dead. We can talk about this later, and then when you two are fine and this weird fucking tracking thing is off you, then we can all leave, and we never need to fucking see each other again. And I can get back to trying to find what I want to do, and you can get back to whatever the fuck you're trying to do, and we can all just live so much better because none of us are in each other's lives.
I step in front of Dottle very protectively, and I look at Hawk, and in Celestial, because I do speak Celestial, I'm watching you.
MacLeod, I don't want that. Do you really want that, for us to never see each other again?
Dottle, I was sent to help you, but it's not because I actually wanted to go out of my way. I want you to know that. I'll help you. I'll take you home. Hell, I'll even make you back into what you were. But I want you to know that I'm only doing it so that I can have what I need to kill the people that I need to kill.
Oh. I'm so sorry. I guess I misinterpreted our relationship.
Not in the business of making friends anymore.
I understand.
June leans down and she cradles Doddle's head to her chest and hugs her while glaring at Hawk.
Rosee, who had stepped out of the room for a moment, steps in through another door off to the left and is holding a tray with a pot of tea, a lot of little cups that are stacked up, and what looks like little cakes. Who's ready for tea and cakes? I made all these all for all of us. We're all going to sit. We can have a tea party. We can and she just like starts going off oblivious to everything that's just happened. Walks over to the table and sets it down in front of you, Saray.
Yes, Rosee. I would love to have tea to try and break the now awkward stare off that's going on.
I would also like tea, please, and I'd like to go over to Rosee and start sipping.
Okay, so all of you drink tea. It's very, very floral and fruity. It's very sweet, and the cakes are also really sweet. They're like covered in this this icing that is really, really just super saccharine sweet, and there are these candied fruits that are on top of it. But immediately upon eating this, all of you get a little bit of a sugar rush, and you are revived a little bit. It doesn't really heal anything, but it does give you a boost of energy.
Rosee, may I ask how you met Saray?
Oh, it's a great story. And then
That's actually a really long conversation, and I don't think you should actually talk about that because there's a lot going on here. And by the way, my name isn't Saray, everyone. It's Sally Mae. Remember, I changed my name. And I just all of a sudden Saray burst out talking at the speed of light, just like Rosee.
Sally Mae, that's a lovely name. Why did you change it?
No, I didn't. That's Doddle. You know that my name's always been Sally Mae. I don't know why you decided to say my old name Saray all the time. And
I was just following along with what everybody else was saying. They were saying that your name was Saray, and I know you told me that your name was Sally Mae, but I know you wouldn't lie to me because we're best friends, and best friends never lie to each other. That's not something best friends do, because as a best friend, you always tell the truth, and you're always very close to each other, and you're writing letters to each other every day so that you're able to say to each other, hi, I like you. This is what I think about you, and your hair and your buttons and everything about you. It's pretty great, and you're also a pretty brilliant alchemist. But you wouldn't lie to me, because if you were lying to me, I would know. And by the way, if your name was Saray and everybody was using the name Saray, I'll just use that. It doesn't matter who you are, because I already know, and you made a pinky swear, and pinky swears transcend any sort of name or disguise that you might wear or anything that you might do to try to fool me into thinking that we weren't actually best friends, because I know we're best friends. And by the way, how's your tea? I like this tea.
It's really, really good. Thank you, Rosee. It's very delicious. Everything's really, really sweet, though. Do you have a really crazy sweet? And the sugar rush kind of just forces this insanity out of Saray.
Is Saray like a nickname of sorts?
Oh, that's my name. That is exactly my name. But I was going by Sally Mae because I don't know who this person very well, but I do know them a lot better now. And originally I had a fake name so that way, in case something bad happened, I would know all this. But now it's okay. I guess everyone knows my real name. We'll just use my old real name all the time now.
Wait a minute, no, I'm a little bit confused. Are we using Sally Mae or are we using Saray? Because either one works for me, because I can use Sally Mae or could I also use Saray, but it's up to you as to whether or not you want to be called Saray or Sally Mae. So let me know what you want to do.
I guess it's gonna be Saray because that's what's going on now. So that's hi. I'm Saray. Nice to meet you, Rosee.
On the other side of the room, for the first time, it looks like Bone Splitter is smiling.
Saray, may I ask actually, where do you hail from?
Deep in the woods.
Deep in the woods? Which woods?
It's the woods. It's deep.
You don't have to tell me if you're uncomfortable.
I honestly don't really know.
Oh, that's interesting.
I just lived in the woods, and I'm not really allowed to talk about exactly in the woods because then I'll get into a lot of trouble and I'll probably die. Rosee, hey, do you have any water? Just plain water? Just water without anything in it?
She gives you water.
Oh, thank God. And she chugs the water, hoping to drain out whatever sugar she's inhaled.
as this is a role play session, you can do whatever you like. So you can either keep it or you can get rid of it. It's up to you.
It'll come in and out.
Rosie, I have a question.
Oh, I love questions. Let me get comfortable here. Let me find my stool that I use for special questions. I'm going to sit here on this stool, and then you can give me all the questions that you've got. I'm going to sit there, and I'm going to think about them, and I'm going to respond to them in a very wise and informed way, and we can talk about all the things that you want to talk about. What's the thing that you want to talk about? What's your question? What kind of questions do you like? I like all kinds of questions.
Okay, well, this is more of a curiosity and less of an accusation, but I find that you seek a lot of validation and you speak very quickly and say a lot. Do you perhaps feel some sort of social anxiety and feel you have to fill an empty space in order for people to pay attention to you and value you as a friend?
I'm really glad that you were able to intuit that. That means you're very intuitive. And by the way, this is a kind of a very close moment between us right now. So let's go ahead and get really close. I want you to tell me something very, very clearly, and I want you to be honest with me, and I want you to never lie to me, because now we're going to be best friends as well. And then when we're best friends, we're going to talk to each other a lot, and you're going to write me a lot of letters. How many letters are you going to write me, Doddle? Are you going to write me 3 letters or 4 letters or 5 letters? Just name a number, and we're going to say that that's how many letters. And then I'm going to hold my pinky out right here, and you're going to shake my pinky, and it's going to be a pinky swear. And that swear is going to be that we're going to be bonded through all time and space. And then no matter what, you're going to be able to write me letters.
All right, well, that sounds wonderful to me, Rosie, but I'm afraid that our situation is a little bit dire and very much disorganized, so I'm not sure how many letters I can commit to at the minute. But I'll write you as many as we're able to write. I'm not sure when we're going to be by a post office or when we're going to be in pain or... Oh, I guess MacLeod did say we were going to separate after this, so... Things are a little uncertain for me right now, Rosie, but I will write to you as often as I can.
Let's start out with the basics. Let's say that you're going to write me 3 letters. And 3 letters, you're going to write me not 1, not 2, not 3, but you're going to write me 3 letters, and you're going to write 1 on one day, and 1 on another day, and 1 on another day. You're not going to write them all at once, because if you did that, then they wouldn't feel like they were genuine. Each letter is going to talk to me about what you're doing and how you're feeling and all the things that you think that we could be doing if we were together, if we were able to spend time together. Like we could have sandwiches or we could have tea. And by the way, you're very intuitive, and I do agree with you that, yes, I do have some social anxiety, but I think that all of that is more of a side effect of what it is that I do and how I do it. And because of who I am, I think I've kind of learned how to best suit myself as far as creating things. And because of all this, I'm able to do some pretty brilliant things. So I'm actually okay with it, even though I'm a little bit awkward. And here, shake my pinky.
All right, I'm going to take her pinky.
Okay, and you perform the ritual of pinky swear with Rosie. And
now we're all effed.
But you were way effed before the pinky swears. So is there anything else that people want to start to plan to do? Because Rosie does take care of you. You know that you're secure here for a short period of time within the back room of Glittersparks gyms, and you know that you won't be tracked here. But the rest of the city is not the same. Rosie's able to create for you temporary potions that can prevent this. There are side effects for each one. So if you want to take a potion, she can provide one to you. But if there's anything else that you want to do, just let me know what those things are, and then we'll split you up.
We really need to. We really need to. We really need to. We really need to get our stuff from the crypt and get out of here.
Can I say that as Rosie is talking to me, I'm just kind of nodding, and then slowly my head starts to fall a bit, and I just put it on the table, almost to look like I'm just getting comfortable, still nodding, and then eyes start to slowly shut for a bit, and I'd like to fall asleep, please.
Yes. Okay, so you go, the thing about it is that for you, sleeping is a new thing, and that it only started happening when you took this form. Before your entire life as an elf, you had enacted trances, which are not unlike sleep in some ways, but it's a meditative practice that all elves perform. And you go through something known as the remembrance, where you recant your memories in very vivid detail. And it takes you out of the reality that you're in and brings you into this internal mind palace that every elf creates for themselves as they get older. And how old is Doddle in elven years?
In elven years, probably a few hundred, but I imagine she's like mentally the same age as everybody else in the party.
You're probably, because 100 years old is very young. It's when you just first get out of childhood. And as an elf in childhood, because you don't have those memories and that memory palace quite formed, you actually remember a spiritual energy from the time before you were created. It is kind of a bright, brilliant calliope of colors that kind of work their way through you, along with soothing sounds and energies. It's when you were like most tied to the natural primordial source of all elven souls, and it's something that you don't you take kind of for granted, and then it slowly is replaced by all these memories that you build as an elf. And you since taking this form have found that your body shuts down in this way, and sleep for you has always been sort of strange, because you always feel like you're reaching back for this remembrance, but you don't have the control over it that you had when you were in your elven body. So your memories are always very scattered and strange, and sometimes the things that you remember are not real. They're like illusions that have loose form to them. And you fall deep into this sleep on this table. Hawk, you are staring at the chalkboard that Rosee was writing on, and she laid out a number of scrolls and books that talk about ecologies of the Underdark, and there are some notes on elithids. What would you like to do?
I'm going to spend some time poring over the information in the scrolls.
Okay. MacLeod, what are you doing in this moment?
MacLeod would like to pull Juniper aside. Hey, Juniper, can we have a minute?
Right? She just kind of follows you.
MacLeod makes sure the door shut and everything. Like, who'd you kill? Before you join us, before we just take you along, we're going to go to a hideout which only we know about. I need to know. I ain't going to tell anyone else. I'm not about putting you on blast. I just need to know.
When?
The reason why you're in jail. Was it like a self-defense thing? Did you just kill him because he deserved it? And what happened? I don't need to know the whole story, just a bit of it.
You think I murdered to get into jail?
That's what someone told me.
Well, I didn't tell you right.
All right. What's the right story then?
I was looking for something. That's it. I didn't hurt anyone before I got there. Not intentionally, maybe in defense after being arrested, but no. I was just looking.
All right. Why are you so interested in Darl?
Loyalty is important to me, and I was in that cell for a really long time, and so for someone to be that kind to me without knowing me, without being accusatory, was pretty nice. I trust her.
If you join us, I want you to know that we are in it deep. There's so many things after us. There's so many things. It's not going to be like a fun, easy ride. Like, honestly, striking out by yourself will be way fucking easier than coming with us. I just want you to know that.
Is there a lot of magic where you go?
I guess.
It might work out for me too. The things I'm looking for, maybe I'll find them on the way.
All right.
Okay.
Sure. Hawk is a cunt, and I hate him. But he means well all the time. And I don't get it, and it stresses me out. But he's a good guy, and he'll always help you out. So I know whatever the fuck that was earlier seems horrifying and scary. He's a good guy. So just don't be too hard on him. He's gone through a lot.
Haven't we all? You don't know me. You don't know what I've gone through, where I've been, who I am.
I mean, you don't seem like a nice person. So forgive me if I know you've been through a lot, and I'm
You
eager
expect
to forgive the fact that you've been through a lot. I've been through a lot. We're not particularly nice people. Him in there has also been through a lot, and he's a nice person. He's done one slip up. That ain't worth fucking just going off on him, right?
You think I'm not nice because... Why?
I know you for like 4 hours, and I don't think you've done anything remotely kind aside from Doddle, to be fair. Not remotely kind. Listen, you're prickly, all right? I'm a fucking pineapple. Like, I understand prickliness. I ain't saying that it's not justified. I ain't saying that we're all dealing with stuff. I'm just telling you to leave the boy be.
I will leave him be if he leaves Doddle alone. The things he says to her, trying to hurt her, trying to separate like that, he could be way nicer to her. And I'll tell you right now, I'm a very nice person, whether you think that or not. So I will not hurt him unless he gives me cause. I trust those who trust.
And I won't hurt you unless there's cause.
I apologize for being harsh. It's just, do not mistake lack of warmth for bad. And she just kind of walks out and goes back over to Doddle just to make sure she's sound asleep.
I'm sleeping.
And so you step out of the wardrobe, and Rosie's still going full tilt, talking to Doddle, and Doddle is just very quietly, softly snoring in the corner. And so that's why, by the way, every time you write a letter, we're going to be able to respond back and forth to each other. And my favorite kind of calligraphy started back probably about 300 years ago when I started to research something differently about the way that the loops and those S's always kind of like curl upwards. And I wondered about that for a long time until I started to do the research on it. And I realized that there was an evolution in handwriting that happened over the course of time, and it was very interesting.
Hey, Rosie, will you do me a favor?
She turns his giant eyes. She has her magnifying glasses back down, and her eyes look even bigger than they normally are.
Will you do something for me in order for us to be great friends?
Absolutely, I'd love to do that. By the way, Juniper, we haven't made a pinky swear yet. And let's talk about the number of letters that you're going to write me, because as soon as you do that, we'll be able to be a little bit more clear about what the terms of this arrangement are, because each of us needs to have very clear terms. Because you can't always trust what people say. And as friends, sometimes you have to set for some kind of boundaries. And those boundaries are going to be things that we both understand and we agree upon. And because we agree upon it, we're able to make sure that we're following through on everything that is expected out of our friendship and the time that we're going to spend together and all the things that we're going to do. And we can have tea, and we can make cakes, and we can have sandwiches, and we can talk about all the things that we like about each other. And by the way, I think that this new look for you is very important. I think that you're starting to understand the importance of colorful clothing and not being a drab person on the inside like Hawk. Hawk is a very grumpy guy, but I know that sooner or later we'll get him into a pair of clothes that will actually fit his personality, and it'll be able to turn him around and make him very happy. And once he's happy, I think that everything's going to change for you and your group, despite the fact that you grabbed onto that goldfish and you opened the box, and the box she just like stops.
I'll write you as many letters as you want, and we'll do pinky promises. And June gives her the warmest smile that she could muster.
Is this honest, or are you? Do you need to make a deception check, or okay? Make a persuasion check then.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, 10.
All right. Well, she, if you're being genuine, she still understands. She holds out a pinky.
There are some things I want to get for Doddle and I, but I'm really going to need your help. Maybe a couple potions, some protection of some kind to get the things I need to get. Can you do that for me?
You pinky swear with her. Your other finger is still over her lip. Do you remove your finger?
Yep.
And as soon as you do, it's like uncorking a bottle, and this torrent of conversation shoots out at you. So the gist of it, though, is that she says that, yes, she can help you. What are you looking for specifically?
To get back our taken objects from,
That's an interesting proposition. And here's what I'm going to tell you is that if you're going to do that, you're going to want to be unseen. And if you're going to be unseen, you're going to have to sneak very carefully back into the place that you just escaped from. And if that goes wrong, then I don't even know what we're going to do, because we're going to be right back at the beginning where we started off. And then you're going to have to be broken out of jail again. And if that happens, I don't know that you'll be as lucky as you were the first time, especially if there's mind flayers about, because they're probably able to track you in ways that I won't be able to necessarily stop. So you do need to be very quick about all this. And if you're not very quick and you're not very careful and you're not very smart, you're going to be very sorry, because it's going to turn into something that's going to be a problem. Because first of all, you were in that jail, now you're going back into the jail, so you're going to want to be invisible at the very least. You're going to need to be protected by one of my potions that's going to keep the tracking from being able to be seen. And we're going to have to hope for the best when it comes to the mind flayers, but you're going to have to be smart, you're going to have to be quick, you're going to have to be wise, you're going to have to be quick. And I would actually take Saray if I were you, because Saray's very good at finding things like that and being able to sneak into places and out of places. And my understanding is from one of the letters that she wrote me, she has a map, and that map might be able to help you.
I turned to Saray, hoping that she heard everything.
We have to go back. Yeah, we can go back. Hey, Rosee, can I borrow some clothes?
She jumps up onto the table. You didn't even have to ask. Of course you can. We're best friends, and I'll let you wear whatever you want. By the way, let's do this the right way. Let's think about the colors that are going to best suit your tone and your color and your hair.
I need something that's going to make me look like a fancy noble.
Whoa, you're talking my language here. I'm going to be able to really help you out. I'm sure that I can find something that's really fancy and that is a little très chic, but not too chic. It'll say something that you have sophistication and understanding, and you'll be like on a runway. And then we'll have you with some heels that are at least 3 inches high, and you'll be able to walk like a really sophisticated person. By the way, when people see you in the street, they're going to say, "Hey, who's that sophisticated noble person?" So she like jumps off, and immediately there's a torrent of costuming that is thrown towards you.
Give me a minute. I don't have the fish, right?
Who has the fish?
I do.
Okay. I need to go get some papers. I'll be back, and I'm going to go outside, and I'm going to find one of my contacts out in the market. Probably the stupid little boy.
So you're going to go...
I'm going to go try and find... I'm going to try and find one of my contacts that can give me some fake identification that makes it look like I'm I work for one of the Lords of Waterdeep.
Yeah. So,
like I'm the secretary for the Lord of Waterdeep or something.
Yeah. You wouldn't be a Lord of Waterdeep. The Lords of Waterdeep are hidden.
Yeah, but I work for one of the Lords or something, that I'm an official person that would be here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you are going...
And I'm going to hobble because I'm so tired.
You know exactly where you need to go. You're going to go to Hildebrandt's Record. It's the small broadsheet sales stand where your contact is, that young boy, the orphan.
Awesome. Great.
You know his name is Jack Puncher.
Mm-hmm.
You found a moment to take a short rest, and it is still raining outside, and the magical properties of Rosee's tent have sheltered you and given you a moment to not only physically restore yourselves, but also mentally restore yourselves. Although being in Rosee's presence is tiring in a different way. She is exhausting. You do manage to have the security that you weren't able to find elsewhere in the street. And this entire time, Bone Splitter kind of remains quiet, lumbering by the main doorway. And you can tell that he's fairly vigilant about what's happening. Saray, you gather together some noble-looking clothing. You're putting a disguise on, is that correct?
Yeah. I'm trying to disguise as someone who could go into the jail and demand for prisoners gear.
Mm-hmm. I'll allow you to either make a performance check or a deception check.
I think my deception is higher.
Okay, so go ahead and make a deception check for me.
8.
Okay. I'm going to let you roll with advantage because you're using Rosee's material, and it's very fancy. The fancy outfits, you have an edge here. So you can roll again and pick
15.
the higher. Okay, that's much better.
Yeah.
It's a very convincing disguise. Now, before we go any further, we know that you're going to go to the broadsheets contact that you have out in the main square in front of the Magistrate's Keep.
Yep.
You've been to this contact before, and he provides you with very, very helpful underworld information for a price. Are you going alone? Is anybody going with you? What are other people doing to try to get themselves sorted out in the city right now?
I sleep.
Okay, so Doddle is going to continue to sleep, and we'll come back to that. What is June doing?
Did Rosee leave with?
No, Rosie's working. She's bustling around the shop, and she's trying to mix together a number of alchemical potions that are alterations of the original potion that she made, that she administered to Hawk to prevent him from being tracked.
Okay. Then, hey, Rosee, while you're working, if you could figure out a way to change my eye color for a little bit, that'd be amazing.
Without even thinking, she throws you a vial.
Easy, I've already done that.
God.
And you have a vial of it's pretty much a coloration cantrip, so you can change your eye color to whatever you like.
Awesome.
She gives you a very long, exhaustive description of how to do it, but effectively what you need to do is touch the potion to the color that you want your eyes to be, and let it sit there for a minute, and then when the potion changes to that color, you drink it.
I have a question. I know long rest probably has pretty strict rules, but can I mumble just in my sleep a little bit?
Yeah, if it's strictly RP and you're not trying to affect anything, then yeah, you can do whatever you want.
Good mumbling. Juniper? Are you a liar and a thief?
June just kind of rubs her hair gently. Thief is a strong word. I wouldn't say thief, I would say I'm someone trying to take back what is theirs. Okay?
Am I a liar and a thief?
Only you know that.
Okay, you can go back to sleep.
Okay. And she gives her a little kiss on the head.
Hawk, what are you doing?
So before we leave Waterdeep, Hawk really wants his locket back they gave to Phineas Fiddlescratch. So he's probably, his best bet is if there's either a Church of Lathander around, or better yet, outpost for the Order of the Aster.
Yeah.
Around, checking to see if
the Order of Aster is not going to have an outpost.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a fairly scattered order. The Church of Lathander most likely is the more straightforward contact that Phineas would have followed through on, given what you had told him when you gave him the locket. That said, you're unsure of where that temple even is in the city.
Would Hawk have mentioned anything about wanting to go find Fiddlescratch, the thing that Fiddlescratch left him? Or not that, but what he gave Fiddlescratch?
I mean, he's gonna say it out loud that he's gonna go and try and find it. So,
I
kind of take a look up from the scrolls that I've been studying. Hey, Rosee, do you know if there's a local church dedicated to Lathander around?
Oh, religion's not really my thing. I don't really enjoy it so much because I feel like it's really impressive and it really tells people how to believe and why to believe and what to believe. And so I just generally kind of avoid it. But if you're looking for something like that, you probably should go into the Temple Square.
Hey, Demon Boy, wait 2 seconds. Oh! And MacLeod gets up and then puts the rifle around. I'm like, I'll join you.
Okay, so this is what I'm hearing is happening. Doddle is going to continue to rest. Saray is going to check in with an underworld contact. Hawk and MacLeod are going to go and search for this locket that was sent off with the Church of Lathander. And June, are you're hanging back?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're gonna sit here with Rosee and talk.
How's it going, Rosee?
She's working very furiously, and she fills every empty moment with conversation about any number of things. She does have you help her with some of the potions that she's working on, and you can make a Arcana check if you like, and I will give you some insight into what she's doing.
7.
You know that she's doing some very complex alchemical work. You don't recognize most of the components or any of the craft that is actually put into it. It's very, whereas most of the work that you do is divine, internal prayer, understanding of how divinity works within oneself. There is a frantic energy of exploration and failure after failure that is followed by minor successes as Rosee continues to mix together all these brightly colored bubbling fluids, and often there will be reactions or small explosions and puffs of smoke that issue forth from the concoctions that she's making, and she continues to persevere and move through. This goes on for a while. Dottle is sleeping soundly in the leaning on the desk, and Rosee continues to talk to her as if she's still awake. Bone Splitter is in the back of the tent and remains unmoved. So Ray, let's start with you. You go out into the streets, and it's still raining. You're currently dressed as a noble, and even though you're brightly, are you, or are you in a different?
Oh no, I was gonna be in my normal attire.
Okay.
I didn't think I'd gotten it. I thought Rosee was getting the clothes, and then I was gonna go out and get the stuff and come back.
That's perfectly fine. So you're in your normal clothes.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. So you make your way across town to the Hildebrandt's Record, which is a small broadsheet newsstand that sells scrolls that have information about the news. You know that your underworld contacts often code these broadsheets with information from various gangs within the city.
Okay.
And it is fairly neutral in its dealings. Its choices as to who it helps and how it helps them is usually based on the amount of gold that they've been paid. So, coming upon this this newsstand, you see the small young orphan who is dressed in somewhat ragged clothing, leaning heavily on his cane as he kind of hobbles around and is shouting out, "Broadsheets! Broadsheets! Get your broadsheets right here!"
Hello, little one. I would like to buy a broadsheet with the good information, please.
Ah, hello, miss. Seems as if you're looking for the good broadsheets.
And there's like a sly wink from the kid's face as he turns and starts kind of ruffling through scrolls.
I trust that your previous purchase was to your liking, Mum.
Yes, it was. I didn't get a chance to use it fully, though, but I'm excited to possibly use it again in the future.
Well, you know our motto here at Hildebrandt's Record, no refunds.
Continues to shuffle through the scrolls.
Ah, you might find this interesting. Was there something specific you were looking for, Mum?
Well, yes. I'm actually possibly looking for some papers.
Ah, some
Official
papers.
documents.
We have plenty of papers here. I think you'll find papers of all sorts. You'll have to be more...
Official documents with a different identity.
I see, yes. So you wish to find a way to obfuscate your true being, Mum. Am I right in that?
Yes.
Excellent, Mum, excellent. You have fine choice in wares here. Of course, there is a price to be paid.
I need a very specific kind of character, though.
Ah, very well. Why don't you have a seat right here and put down the specifics that you're seeking for. I'll continue to do my work, and when you're done, I'll see what can be done.
I write down that I'm looking to for papers stating that I'm a noble
detective hired by a Lord of Waterdeep.
As you hand this little paper back that's been scratched out with the specifics of what you're seeking, he looks at it, he looks at you, and then he looks back at it, and then looks back up at you with a very broad smile.
Well there, Mum. This is quite the tall order. I can only imagine that you're going to be able to pay for these services.
Yes, of course. How much?
Well, given the danger of such papers were they to be discovered, the forger would certainly be placed in high contempt. Such forgeries, you know, from the code legal, would prove one to be working directly against the city. You'd be exiled at absolute best if you weren't outright assassinated. They would probably execute you in the square.
Well then, that's a chance I'm gonna have to take.
Papers like this come at a steep price, you understand, Mum.
Of course. How much?
3 platinum.
Well, I don't have that.
That's a shame, Mum. I'd love to help you out. I think you know that the services that are available around here would be able to do for you just the best that they possibly could. Of course, they'd be lacking and you'd be caught and you'd probably be placed directly into the prison. But who am I? Just a simple broadsheet salesboy. If you'd like my services and I can trust you in knowing that they're the absolute best, you'll find the price that I ask.
No, your price is reasonable for what I'm asking for. It looks like I'll have to find another way. Thank you.
Saray, you have already placed a number of contacts into the city to find for you a person to purchase all of the wares and the alchemical components and magical components and scrolls that were discovered in the Grasping Eyes hideout.
Yeah.
You have a great deal of money waiting to be redeemed.
Yeah. I was gonna sell it to Rosee, but we have to go get it.
Okay. So you currently don't have those things and you don't have the money from it.
Right.
What would you like to do?
I'm going to go back to Rosee's shop.
Okay, so you're going to head back there. We'll come back to you. Hawk and MacLeod, you have stepped out and you go to the Temple Square in the southern ward, which is further south, closer to where you first entered into the city.
What are we looking for?
The Church of the Morning Lord Lathander. I'm surprised you wanted to tag along. You don't strike me as a religious type.
No, nah. I think I just wanted to get you alone.
Now that tracks a little bit more.
When you did the thing, you know, big.
When I transformed.
What is that?
There's a couple names for it. When I don't know what I did was called, but my sister and I used to call it popping our wings when we were kids. It looked and felt different back then. There would be actual wings.
So you're not human?
No. I'm what's called an Asimir. It's a descendant of what many people call Celestials.
Proper god boy then.
Yeah.
And the Raven Queen, she's your mom?
No, she, I only started following the Raven Queen recently. Until before all this happened, I used to worship the Morning Lord Lathander. Most people get to choose whether or not they live this kind of life, and I didn't.
Can you not just tell the Raven Queen no?
the Raven Queen was my choice. I didn't choose whether or not I could serve Lathander. I got shipped away when I was a kid with my sister, and that was that. But
Right.
I lost her and a couple people I cared about, and the Morning Lord and all of them. They didn't really work for me, but the Raven Queen showed up, so here I am.
Those voices and stuff that you hear when you turn, are they the same all the time?
Did I hear them, or was that just MacLeod?
I think it was just MacLeod.
Okay.
We're going to go back into that moment here. I'm going to say it's just MacLeod.
All right.
No one else heard it.
MacLeod, what you heard was only what you heard. I didn't hear it. But, well, you said that you heard the souls of dead people that you loved.
Hmm.
The Raven Queen is the god of death, so it would make sense.
That place that I went, can you open that? Can you do that just regularly?
I can do it maybe once a day, and only for a minute. I have a little bit of blood of the Celestials in me, but I'm not an angel. At least not full time. I can only do it for a little bit of time every day, otherwise it just drains me. You saw what I became. I can't control myself fully when I'm like that. Sorry you had to see that.
That's all right.
It's not something I'm proud of anymore.
That's fine.
I'd like to insight check that.
You can. I'll let MacLeod determine what the result is, but go ahead and roll it just to make sure you don't get like a natural one or something.
I rolled a natural one.
Did you really?
I did.
I don't know. I'll let you find a bad result, MacLeod, and give it to him.
I didn't roll 2 though.
Yeah. So it's probably not a correct assumption, but what assumption would Hawk be able to make here?
I'm not sure. I think he thinks that MacLeod is... Because MacLeod is after something, but I think Hawk thinks that he's after something...
So, like, I think you're into this, like, altruistically out of, like, care for him?
No. With a crit fail, I think... he thinks that he's after just something, just like something that's not altruistic in any way.
You think that MacLeod is doing this for fame? You think that MacLeod is doing this so that he can become famous?
You know, starting to piece it together now. I really am.
Are you?
Yeah, it's not enough. If you can't find the secret place that you've always wanted to find, this Teowin or whatever, then trying to you wanted to open up a portal to the gods, right? So if you can't find Teowin, then you can at least discover where my god lives, right? Or is that it?
I mean, I wouldn't call the Raven Queen like a proper god. She's like what, just like a middle manager or something.
To be fair, like before all of this, you hadn't really heard very much about the Raven Queen. In fact, she seems to be a footnote at best when people talk about divine beings.
I'm going to grab him by the scruff of his neck and slam him against a wall.
All right, so that's an athletics roll. It's a grappling check, so let's have MacLeod make a contested athletics roll.
Oh my god.
Who are you?
What the fuck is this?
For those listening, that's a natural 20.
Yeah, I just got a natural 20.
Only good roll I've done today.
So MacLeod got a 16. I have a natural 20. So
So roll the natural 20 again, and let's see if you get 2 in a row. No, that would have been nice.
That was a 10.
That would have been nice. So what is your unarmed damage?
4.
So you do 8 points of non-lethal damage to MacLeod as, like, perfectly, without even flinching, you reach out with your arm, grab him, and throw him up against a wall. His head hits with a sickening kind of like thud. And there's a ringing in your ears, MacLeod, as he's just rung your bell and you hurt.
So fame really is everything to you, isn't it? Science boy. Got anything clever?
Fucking monster, then, ain't you?
There's this trickle of blood down your temple, MacLeod.
Fuck you and fuck your fake gods and your sad fucking backstory. The fucking gods that don't give a shit about you because they put you through fucking hell. Fuck them all. Fuck everything you fucking stand for because it's fucking nothing, alright? Because I'm trying to fucking help you. I fucking stood up for you. You're fucking nothing. And you fucking won't be anything because you just fucking cower at the first sign of any fucking fear at anything that has any form of power, because they were born powerful. The people, they fucking make themselves powerful. They're born with nothing, and you fucking roll over and you're fucking ridiculous. And he just tries to like get out.
Athletics check. No.
Yeah.
Oh no.
His grip isn't as firm as this torrent of backlash spews forth from MacLeod. Hawk, you do sort of lose your grip a little. It's not as ironclad as it was, but you still have him up against this wall.
I know that I am nothing, and I am not looking to be some fucking hero here, man. But you are the one that's going to be a footnote. And you're trying really desperately hard not to be, because that's all that matters to you, is how many people know your name. And I just let him go.
When it's all fucking done, and when you're in the most dire straits, and you fucking pray to everything to help you in any way, you fucking know they're not gonna do that. They're just gonna look at you and they're gonna fucking laugh, and you can go to everyone and tell them I need help, and none of them are gonna listen. People are gonna listen. That's the only fucking thing that matters. And you fucking remember that when you have nothing but your fucking hopes and your dreams of anything being fixed.
No. Tell me what my hopes and dreams are, MacLeod. Please tell me. I don't have those anymore. As far as I'm concerned, mine died underground. All I care about is killing the people I need to kill. I don't know
all
what
I'm saying is that your gods are doing nothing to help you. But we're all trying. We are trying to get you out of this fucking situation, but your gods are doing nothing but making you scared and angry, and that's all they'll ever do. Because they don't care about you, Hawk. But other people do, alright? Just go fucking find your lock and fuck yourself with it.
Hawk's just gonna walk off.
Do you continue on to the Temple of Lythander?
I do, yeah.
And then, MacLeod, where do you go?
He paces around the block and then goes to the clockwork shop.
You pace around the block. Eventually, MacLeod, you make your way all the way down to the far side, where you were guided by the magistrate's high scribe. High scribe Rihanna Bellevue had led you to this shop, and you had made your way here the other day. And there were some items of interest for you. You make your way across the marketplace, and you find yourself in the shop that you were in, and you see the Arakokra, who was the shopkeep that you had dealt with. The strange bird-like figure kind of cranes his head up from behind a desk and waves at you as you enter in. His feathered visage kind of ruffles, and he brushes his hands off on his apron as he stands up. And hey, you've come right back already. It's good to see you again. And he kind of bobs his head.
I want to go for another shot.
Yeah. Hopefully you were doing better than last time I saw you. I know things got rather hectic.
Oh wait, haven't slept in a couple of days. I just wanna go again. I just wanna. Listen, bud, I don't have a lot of money. I don't have any more than I did before. But I'm fucking stuck at the minute. I can't get this fucking my fucking little creation to work, and I think I really need one of your things or packs. I know that my word's not worth nothing, but clearly people trust me because I gave you that fucking note, and they trusted me to do some kind of good. And I'm just asking, can I have some kind of back payment? I'll work for you. I'll give you some schematics for some. I'm not asking for the fucking big one. I just want a slightly smaller one. I'm at a loss here, bud.
Make a persuasion check, and you can only make one of these.
Well, that's a 15.
His eyes, his big bird eyes, kind of like narrow as he kind of looks you up and down. I think I understand what you're saying. I've been in those sorts of positions before, and I get that sometimes we aren't able to do the things that we need to do at the time we need to do them. Can't exactly be giving away all of my goods here. That would be a very poor business proposition. So I think that maybe we could work something out. How much money do you have?
You rinsed me last time we met, but I have nothing. And I ain't asking you to give me for free. I know you're a businessman. This shit's fucking expensive. But, like, do you want to trade for someone? I can work for you for as long as I'm here. I can do something that you want. I'm like, I swear, I know I didn't come off the best last time, but I'm like a really fucking good inventor. I can make practically fucking anything. I can make fucking magic items. Like I'm really good at what I do. I just need someone in this fucking city just to trust me for like 5 minutes.
All right, calm down. There's no need to get your feathers in a ruffle. I'll do what I can, and we'll come back to you. Hawk, you are now standing on the steps of a very large, ornate temple. And on the top of the temple is a fresco that has a sun carved across the top of it, and it's inset with all of these golden tiles. And the front of the building is very bright and white and gleamingly clean. The fresco has a very brilliant orange and yellow tonality to it. You're standing at the steps, and on the inside you can see that the doors are open, and there are a number of clerics that are moving back and forth with these big braziers burning with incense. And they walk up and down the aisles of the temple, and you hear chanting and singing.
Hawk's just gonna take a moment and just kind of absorb everything that's happening around him at this cathedral, because it's been so long since he's been near one. And he kind of slowly approaches.
You step up the stairs and make your way closer to the temple itself. You see a woman standing outside of the main double doors to the temple itself. She looks to you. Wayward child, are you seeking the comfort of our Lord's great warmth?
No, sister, I don't think that I'm here for the Lord's warmth. I'm here for something that was delivered to the church by a man named Phidias Fiddlescratch.
She looks to you. Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
That is 17.
Okay, so she looks at you. I'm unfamiliar with the name, my child.
He might have used a different name. Yeah, he was a short halfling man, older. He came here with a locket belonging to a member of the Order of the Aster.
Now there's a name that I do recognize. The Order of the Aster. Do you have association with the Order?
Yeah, my sister was a member.
Indeed. Interesting. You may not be seeking the Lord's comfort today, but whatever aid I grant you will be granted inside the walls of this holy cathedral.
The only aid I need is that locket. It's an important memento she's passed on, you see.
Understand. It is an important locket to you, and you believe that we hold it within our walls. Please, step inside.
Hawk kind of hesitates and then steps inside.
There's a moment where your breath feels as if it might explode out of your body as you cross the threshold into the temple. But when this pressure builds, it immediately releases, and you're filled by the warm, comforting smells, sights, and sound of the Temple of Lythander. You're warm. You're warmer than you've been in some time. And you hear some of the clerics chanting and praying. They are kneeled before these sigils of the sun rising, and they are on these beautifully woven rugs. And each of them mutters to themselves as they pray, "Oh, great one, great guiding light, light that rises, light that covers us, light that brings us to peace, light that shields us from the dark. We are wise because of you. We are strong because of you. Your light fills us and guides us when we are empty, without place or purpose. O great Lord, morning Lord, Lord of all, new beginnings, new hopes, all come from your great bounty. Shall we never forget you? Shall we never forsake you, great Lord?" And it continues on, this droning.
Hawk's just kind of like puppeting his mouth in the words that he's saying, since he's said it plenty of times in his life, even though he just doesn't believe it anymore.
All of your instruction as an acolyte begins to return to you, and you see young children that are carrying small flames that they take to other candles within the temple, and they light them, and they are working diligently, and you know that their routine is very set. You yourself spent many years practicing this religion. The cleric takes you forward towards the altar and then turns into a smaller vestibule that leads you into an office. And inside of the office are a number of desks, and other clerics are working here. Some of them are transcribing holy text. Others are preparing offerings of herbs that are being bundled in specific ways. And you know everything that is being done here, even though this is a city that you've not practiced this religion in. Everything is very much the same as it was in Baldur's Gate. You failed to tell me your name, my child.
My name's Hawk.
Hawk. A fine name.
It does me okay.
I am Sister Petra.
It's a pleasure to meet you, sister. Has a gentleman given you a... I was brought in here. I'm just looking for my sister's locket.
As you've said many times, my child, if a locket was placed into our care, then I will find it for you. Please, have a seat here. And there's a number of chairs up against a wall.
I'll take a seat. I don't see what all of the hoops are. I mean, if you have it, right?
I do not have it personally, my child. You know, the Morning Lord has much to say about patience.
Yeah, the Morning Lord has a lot to say about a lot of things. I don't mean any disrespect, sister, but I'm not looking to convert here.
And I'm not looking to convert you. I'm simply looking to aid you, as is my duty in service to the Lord of Dawn. It occurs to me that this locket, if it were passed upon the clerics of this temple, that it would have specific instructions placed upon it, and that the person seeking it would be doing so under great duress, and that if they were to give this locket to the temple, it would be done in the hopes of procuring protection and aid.
It was going to be brought here by somebody who desperately needed aid, and unfortunately that aid fell short.
What did you say your association with the Order was again?
My sister was a member.
And what was your sister's name?
Does it matter?
Very much so.
My sister's name was Amara Evanmore from Baldur's Gate, Order of the Aster.
Finally, I feel that we are peaceably communicating in the Lord's light. Allow me to see if your locket is here. And she steps out of the room. And there are other clerics that are working. They take no note of you. We'll come back to you.